Welcome to the Untitled Podcast. My name is Fab. I'm joined here, as always, with Grant, a.k.a. Griddles. And today we're going to talk about all things gaming and literally whatever else we want to talk about. And you're going to sit there and listen because we said so. We have a very special guest today, and we'll announce them later because I want to keep you on the edge of your seat. Grant, how you been, bud?
Hello. I'm good. Good. Just been...
How was bowling?
Working.
How was bowling?
It was good.
Yeah.
If we didn't keep any of the other stuff in,
I recorded
my
it.
Butt cheeks are sore. Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like,
yeah,
if it,
I mean, you know.
Yeah, my butt cheeks are sore. It was a fun time.
Explain that. I need you to elaborate on that a little bit. I
okay,
don't
so
understand how a butt cheek can be sore from bowling. I don't think.
And I didn't know.
You know.
I didn't know my butt cheek could get sore from bowling. But you know, like when you bowl, like I don't know how legit you get because some people just throw it down the lane. But like if you're trying to like spin it down like to where it snaps at the end and hooks,
sure.
Like when you go down, you slide and then slide your leg to the side like that.
Sure. I don't do that. So
yeah. So I think that's what it was. Is I was sliding my right leg under, and I think I was just stretching my quad and my glutes because I never really work them like that.
Wow.
And I feel like a bitch because
that is like the fattest thing I've ever heard. I think probably like.
I just think it's laziness. I wouldn't call it fat. I think it's just pure laziness.
I think they go hand in hand.
I'm not gonna lie. When I woke up, I felt like the people on Wall-E. Like, you ever see Wall-E? When it's
Wall-E?
just
the people just sitting in the chairs, bro.
Yeah,
dude.
That's what I felt like.
That has to be a new one for me. I don't bowl often. And usually when I bowl, it's like with bowling, it's like similar as it is like with pool, like playing pool with me. It's I'm good for like 2 games. Like really good for 2 games. And then after that, I'm chalked. Gutter, ball, scratching, like, but I'm really good for a few games. Like I've bowled, I've had some pretty high scores. But that being said, I've never had sore ass cheeks. So, you know, I don't really know how you accomplish that, my guy. I don't know if it was from the bowling. Like I said, I think maybe you have that red room, you know?
I think I took it too serious because
you were probably like, so who are you bowling with?
It was with my work. We do like a once a month thing where we go to either like a bar and play pool, or we tried bowling this week. And there was 2 people there that play in a league, and they got like the ball, they got the shoes, they have like a slider.
Do they have a ball bag? Like they bring their own ball?
Yeah, dude had
like
3 of them. He was sanding his ball down before we played and everything. Oh
my gosh.
And so I think
they wear gloves and on the whole, they got everything.
Yeah, he had like this like strip that went over his finger so his finger could slide out easier.
Bro, that's a dork.
And I'm over here with the balls that go like click, 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 click as they're going down the lane.
I don't mean any disrespect, but I kind of do at the same time, because if your coworker watches this podcast, that's a dork energy, bro.
He crushes.
That is.
I'm kidding.
My dude fucks. That dude
fucks hard.
Like if we were to bring the word dweeb back, you remember that word from the 90s? Yeah. That would be the definition of dweeb. You know.
I held my own with them.
Yeah. For like,
one of them.
Yeah. Did you go to like a nice bowling alley? Like, do you have like?
No, we only have one.
Like one like trashy like hookers out back, drug dealers selling blow in the parking lot.
Like if you could still smoke indoors, they would still let you.
Yeah. Yeah, we have like Austin's so bougie, bro. We have like only nice like main event, you know, super nice bowling alleys. There's like
sounds like a strip club.
It might be. I don't know. I've never been to the back rooms, bro.
Yeah.
Might be.
No, our floors are like sticky and there's probably like gum under the table type joint.
Yeah.
So. The balls all have chips in them and uneven.
No, the bowling alley we would go to is pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know.
Like your recreational thing.
I don't really fuck with bar games like that or like bowling. Yeah. I don't really do anything like that.
I don't even know what to consider like pool and bowling.
I would say it's like
bar games?
Like a bar game. Yeah, like darts. I feel like darts, pool.
I feel like no one plays darts.
My dad used to love darts, bro. But he's the only person I knew had like super nice metal darts and like would get mad if you like fucked him up and that kind of thing, you know. But I was pretty good at darts, I guess I would say. Probably not like pro good. I bet you there's probably dart tournaments and stuff.
There is 100%.
I don't know. I feel like that was like the millennials drinking game. We're not millennial. Am I a millennial?
Yeah, because I think I'm Gen Z
Whatever's
by a year.
what's before millennials, like boomers.
Yeah.
I feel like bar games were like boomers drinking games, right? Like they didn't play like beer pong or like flip cup or any of that shit. They played like quarters, pool, and darts. So I feel like that was the equivalent.
Beer pong a lot.
I played a lot of beer pong. I was really good
Water
at beer
pong, but same thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get to a point where you're tired of cleaning beer off the floor,
I don't think anyone actually like. I don't think I've ever played like the legit rules where like there's actual beer in the cup and you got to drink that.
Ever?
Cup. No.
Oh wow, we played that a lot when I was in the Coast Guard. But then we got to the point where
that's
we're
like college. I never went to college.
Yeah, it was like similar vibes. Yeah, but it's like you get to a point where you'd get tired of fucking cleaning beer off the floor. So it's easier to clean water, and then like anytime somebody made your cup, you just drink out of your beer in your hand. So way easier. And it would always get to a point where I'm like literally gagging thinking about this, where you have like you can't drink them fast enough, so you have this like really piss warm beer on the table because you just keep pouring them in, and then like before you leave the table, you have to chug it. I'm literally getting choked up, like because like how gross that is when you're like it's piss warm, but you have to drink it to get off the table if you lose, and you just fucking chug it and usually go to the backyard and throw up after.
Just thinking about that because like the friend's house that we played at, they have animals, and sometimes you'll pick up the ball and it'll have like dog hair on it. So just,
dude. We always had the rinse cup. You always had the rinse cup.
I guess.
Yeah.
But it's still going in because not everyone dips their ball.
Pause.
You don't always dip your balls. Don't always get them wet. So yeah, that's what I did. What'd you do this week?
I didn't do a damn thing since Friday, Saturday, for 4 days straight, bro. I binge watched like TV, and like,
what'd you watch?
Chats can be mad because I wasn't streaming, but like, I just didn't feel like it, bro. I just didn't want to do anything. You know what I mean?
When you didn't reply to Myrna and I was like, "Yep, he's gone for the weekend."
Oh, I was out, bro. My brother brought some goodies from New Mexico for me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Feel me?
Yeah.
And all weekend, bro, I was just torched.
You were like those commercials back in the day when you would smoke weed and they were just flat.
That's me, bro. Brother, I was torched all.
Those worked, by the way.
What?
Those
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was scared.
I was terrified. I was like, I'm going to be flat if I smoke weed.
And then the first time I actually ended up smoking weed was out of like an aluminum foil pipe. I probably got cancer from that. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I did out of a Coke can that you poked holes in.
I did that before. Yeah. I did out of an apple. Like we did it out of an apple one time. Terrible, bro.
And I know this, like now realizing it, I know this was dumb and doesn't work. But like one of my first few times, it was a Walmart receipt.
You rolled it in a Walmart receipt?
But when you're like 15... You're like, it's paper.
I mean, it works. Burn. Yeah, it works.
I'm very fast, but it works.
Yeah. And you're also inhaling
ink. Yeah. So
and that paper is like thermal paper. Like that receipt paper's like, you probably have cancer. You 100% have dormant cancer. Yeah, there's no way you don't.
It's like plastic on it with ink that's been heat pressed like a shirt.
Probably put the skunkiest weed in there too. It's probably the most.
Oh, dude, it was straight Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like probably brown, looked like stale oregano.
Yeah. Dude. But so yeah, I literally torched all weekend. I watched every documentary you could possibly think of that's on Netflix. I watched it. Like Johnny Manziel, Jake Paul.
I heard this was good though.
Jake Paul's is good. I thought you told me about it. I thought you watched that already.
I keep up with the Pauls, but I didn't watch the documentary.
There's no way, bro. There's no way you didn't watch it. You know why?
I just heard about it.
There's no way you haven't seen it yet. Tell me, you're lying, right? You've seen it.
I haven't even seen Conor McGregor's yet.
Okay, so I haven't seen that one yet either. But here's why. The other day we were talking about Jake Paul, and you used all of the same phrases and like sentences that the fucking people in the documentary were using.
Oh,
bro.
Really?
About Jake Paul, yeah. About him being the heel and...
Oh, it's because I keep up with them, yeah.
Yeah, so about like him being that specifically the heel, and then one other thing. You said, you described him and like talked about him and used a lot of the same phrases that they used in the doc. So I was like, oh, Grant's for sure seen this.
Well, it's because...
That's crazy. So Logan that's wild,
Jacob, actually. They've always been like the heel on the internet.
Yeah.
Because they came from
I've never heard anybody say... Yeah. I didn't know that, by the way. I didn't know that
Yeah,
they did Vine.
they came from Vine. So when they started making vlogs, they were already like hated on.
Yeah.
Because they're like, who are these Vine kids stepping in our territory? Like
Right.
YouTube, like some gang.
For real.
So they've always been hated on since then, and then they just kind of like embraced it, and it's always worked out for them.
Yeah.
And so then when it came to fights, they kind of adopted the Conor McGregor style because they saw it worked, obviously.
Yeah.
And so like then
Like being
Logan
the bad
started
guy?
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, Logan started shifting his image after the Suicide Forest. Then he kind of went towards the heel again when he was fighting KSI. And then he kind of fixed it again as like the good guy. But I think now he wants to get back into fighting again. So he's kind of seems like he's going back to trying to be the heel.
Well, see, and that's the thing.
I mean,
though,
he'll
it's
sell
like Jake
fights.
is like that's Jake's thing right now. So I think
Yeah,
if
and
he
he's
does
really
play,
good at it.
I mean, yeah, being the bad boy sells better. And even like I was watching Theo Von had Hulk Hogan on his podcast, and even Hulk was saying like Hulk Hogan's, was doing great, but then as soon as he went and started doing stuff with NWA and like playing the bad guy, like that it like transcended his entire brand. Like
People love to hate.
People
you.
love to hate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Logan, you like I don't know if you keep up with it, and I don't physically watch it like people, but like I watch the clips of like the WWE, and I think there's like not like a hazing period, but like an intro period where you kind of like get beat up by everybody in the WWE.
Yeah.
And then now that Logan's re-signed, I think he's gonna start getting like more airtime.
Yeah.
And then I think he's gonna start being a heel in the WWE, kind of like Edge and Randy Orton, like that.
Right.
I don't know if you watched that, but
Nah, I didn't really keep up with that stuff. My brother keeps up with that stuff a lot, and he likes Logan Paul a lot. So and he's been
like,
watching WWE, WWF, and all that stuff.
I mean,
since I could remember, he was watching that stuff, and he loves Logan Paul.
Yeah, I used to have like all the figures and everything, but like if you look at his size, like he's like I can't tell exactly, but 6'2" to 6'4" height, probably like 200 something pounds, like lean. And he's doing like Rey Mysterio moves as this tall jack dude. Like it's crazy. Like he's killing it.
That's insane.
Like jumping off the top. Like that's a lot bigger of a jump for him than someone like Rey Mysterio, who's like 5'4" or something.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, whatever they're doing right now, both brothers are working. I didn't realize they had
geniuses.
I didn't realize they had such crazy beef and stuff like that. Their story was pretty fucking intense, man. Like, I had no idea like where I didn't even know Jake Paul was on fucking Disney. I didn't know any of that stuff.
I didn't really kind of know that till like after he left.
So like that documentary is very good. It's on Netflix and it's phenomenal. So I learned a lot of shit about them and what it really took for them to like get where they are right now. And like, love them or hate them, you have to fucking respect them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Logan, and a lot of people don't like him, which is like whatever. Like it is what it is. But his goal is to be, in his head, is to be like one of the number one entertainer in the world. And sometimes you have to do some controversial or off the wall stuff to be that, to see what works and what doesn't. So. And most people that are like number one in the world are WWE people. Like The Rock was like the number one actor for a year or two. John Cena's kind of getting his airtime now.
Yeah, he's so bad. John Cena's acting is so bad, terrible. Bro. It's not.
But good. I don't know if you ever saw this movie. It's called The Marine. He was really good in that movie.
Well, he just had to play himself though. That's like.
And now he's like this like super restricted, like cheerful guy. It's
dude,
crazy.
He's in a movie. I just watched it. He's in a fuck. Oh, he's in Bumblebee, the movie. We just binge watched all of Transformers, by the way, as well. Okay. I don't know if we talked about that on the last episode, but I watched every Transformers, every single one, bro.
I like the first 3, and then I was like,
they're awful after the second one. No, Bumblebee's good. Bumblebee's really good actually, but the rest of them are so
kind of when Shia LaBeouf dipped.
Bro.
I was like, I'm dipping.
Yeah, I think so. And I honestly, I think Shia LaBeouf's one of those guys that's like you love to hate.
I love Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I love Shia LaBeouf too.
Lawless, he killed it in Lawless.
Dude, Disturbia.
He's
good in Transformers.
He's crazy.
Well, yeah.
But like that's kind of.
I
what
also
makes
think
him a
he's
great
like
actor.
more of like I think he's more on like an even keeled now too. I think he has his own podcast now as well. Or maybe he's been on.
He was on.
The Punisher's podcast.
I don't know his name either. I was gonna say that guy's
that guy
podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, fucking binged watch documentaries all weekend. I watched Johnny Manziel's one, similar shit too, where it's like people loved to fucking hate that guy, bro. Like, it's especially specifically in college. In when he got to the NFL, it was like he fucked his own self over in the NFL. Well, but in college, it was like, dude, he was the baddest motherfucker ever in college.
I mean, it's kind of the thing, and like, it's nothing new. Like, people talk about all the time. People want, like, push you to become number one.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you hit number one, they like tear you down as quick as they can.
Yeah.
It's the weird. I don't know why people are programmed that way.
Yeah,
but
I don't know either. It is weird.
With Drake, like, everyone loved Drake. Like, you didn't see a single person hate Drake until it started coming out that he was number one.
Well, I kind of feel like he did that to himself a little bit too with these last few fucking like albums. I don't know.
Maybe lately, but like, I mean, he's been top artist for 10 years. So like ever since then, he's been.
No, I can definitely see that. Yeah, you're right. It is weird where it's like people just do that. Like, people want, they believe in you, but then once I feel like once you get to this point where you seem unreachable or like you like transcend the rest of humans, then it's like, okay, we gotta tear this motherfucker down. You know what I mean? And that's like across the board with like famous people just in general. With LeBron, I don't think it ever happened really with MJ besides people just hating him because he was like an asshole. Like, but I don't think people knew that till way later. But I feel like select athletes or like,
well, he was a different time.
I feel like there are exceptions to that rule, but in general, that is true too. It could be something that is just that's like new.
It's like the internet.
It's like a new thing. Yeah, could be a thing. But yeah, that's consistent, right? Where it's like we see somebody transcend humans, and then all of society tries, brings them down, or it just like causes two sides of the fence. Like you have everyone who loves that person, and then all the haters.
And maybe it's not. Maybe it's always been that way, but maybe because it's so easy.
It's way more visible now. Yeah.
Maybe it's so easier to see everyone's reactions. Yeah. That we're seeing both sides now.
And the internet's. I feel like the internet's also made it so much easier to have like this mob mentality too, where you can gang up on people online. Originally, it's like, oh, you're gonna talk shit with 6-year-old boys, and like that's the extent of like that, conversation. Now it's like I got 12,000 followers on Twitter, bro. I could go on and I can start some shit if I want to, bro. We've seen it. Yeah. I do it by accident sometimes, bro. You know what I mean? We've seen that. It is by accident, bro.
It is, but you don't speak to nobody.
Bro, because like I just get exhausted, man. I do be fucking up sometimes though.
It's all
right. But yeah, literally that was the extent of my fucking weekend, bro. Nothingness. I've watched 5 of the Fast and Furious movies.
Great.
All of the documentaries. I did.
30
that's
weight,
all I did.
40 weight.
Yeah. 40 weight sounds nice.
The Buster brought me back. No one likes the tuna sandwich.
No one likes the tuna. Yeah. So good, man.
I miss when they were corny. They were they're corny now, but it's a different type of corny. Yeah. Like it's like that would never happen type corny. I like this is just cheesy corny. Like that was when it was fun.
The first one is underrated as shit, bro. People hate that. I don't know why so many people hate it. It's Paul fantastic.
Walker's a terrible actor, dude.
I feel like he's not that bad in the first one. The second one, he gets when he's like the guy, because like in the first one, he has Vin Diesel to kind of lean on, and they kind of like they share the limelight. The second one is hot garbage.
It just feels like that when he reads lines, it's like they just said action. It's like. Like, yo, man, like, you want to race me? It's weird. Like, there's no.
And I want my respect.
Yeah,
bro, I cringe.
I almost had you, bro. It's just like, it's like he was caught off guard and they said action.
Yeah. He was like mid sentence. Oh,
yeah.
It's not good. So we skipped 2 and 3. Obviously, we watched the first one. Fantastic. Skip 2 and 3, and then so far we've seen 4 and 5. I believe. I think I'm on 6. I gotta watch.
Tokyo Drift is one of my favorites.
I love it, but it had nothing to do. I'm just trying to catch up to because I think 10 just came out, right?
Yeah, I think that it did have I think in their head it had a play, but they waited too long to bring it back. Yeah, because there was. I haven't seen a lot of the newer ones, but I think it.
Well, like Hans is in it.
It came full circle later, but I think they meant to do it earlier and something happened.
Yeah, I can see that because like Hans is in it, and then they have Vin Diesel show up at the end.
Right.
But those are the only two characters that are in any of the rest of the series.
So maybe
they
went
like
down.
they've rarely, like, every once in a while they'll like mention Tokyo. Like that's the extent of like how Tokyo Drift plays a part into any of the fucking.
I wonder if their ratings went down. So like, all right, we got to pivot back to the old crew. And
like for sure, probably
in their head they were like, it's gonna go to Tokyo, then this guy's gonna be brought in.
Yeah.
But now they're like, all right, let's bring every WWE superstar in the world and every Marvel superhero.
Dude, for real. Dude, I'm getting to that point where like we're about to get into. I think Jason Statham's in this next one that I'm about to start.
But now like non-car guys probably love crazy. Him.
I feel like car guys. I feel like car guys are the ones who love those movies. Like,
really?
I feel like non-car guys don't like them, but like car guys, it's a car movie, so people want to go see that shit.
But when I see like Dominic Toretto slap shifting a Dodge Challenger that only has 6 gears 45 times, I'm like, bro, it's automatic. You're just putting it in manual mode. Like, what is going on? You don't even have to do this.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, I guess probably just seeing them on the road and like all that stuff is enough, you know? Maybe.
What because I work at car dealerships, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was at Volkswagen, there's like when you put them in manual mode, so like you can shift it yourself, it's automatic, but you can tell the car when to shift.
Tectonic or whatever.
Yeah, Triptronic is what Volkswagen calls it. So that's fine, and you can get a little bit more power, I guess, out of it.
But like paddle shifting, right? Basically, or is that different?
Yeah, but you're manually doing it with the shifter. You can void your warranty doing that because if you over rev it, you can at Volkswagen at least you can over rev it, and it will leave a permanent fault. So as soon as you bring it in a dealership,
they
like
know
it says void warranty.
Oh shit! And you can't clear those codes at all.
Yeah. So as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this man's just voiding his warranty right now. So I'm like, this is so fake. Yeah, so I'm like, just stick it in automatic and let it ride.
That's funny, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I only know like 2 or 3 gearheads, and like they watch it on release every like when a new one's out, like they're in there, they're watching that shit.
I'm sure it's still fun.
But like, if I fell off, I think this last one, I think the 5th one is like the last one I've seen. I don't think I've seen 6 yet. But I also thought I didn't see 5 yet. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, I remember a lot of this. I can remember this is Brazil, like that fucking line. I remembered that. And I was like, I think
I stopped when Dominic Toretto jumped I think it was his Challenger in the skyscrapers in Dubai from one to the other.
I think that's 6.
I was like, okay, dude.
I think that's 6. I think I'm coming up on that one. But what's crazy about,
first of all, they wouldn't allow this car in Dubai because it's so clean there that this car wouldn't even be imported there.
I think I heard that, I don't know if I read this or I heard it on something, but when Fast and the Furious, they were a successful franchise already, but when they like took it to the next level is when they realized that kind of shit that you just mentioned draws fucking crowds. People don't give a fuck that it's like bullshit. Once they realized that they could throw realism out the window and do the most bizarre, crazy shit ever, and people are still gonna love their shit. That's when they were able to. That's when they brought in like all the crazy shit, tanks and all the wild. That's when it
went from street racing to like
action.
There's a terrorist here, and these guys from California in this shitty ass house can stop them.
Exactly. Yeah. All like apparently a car club is the world's last hope. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that. Once they got to that point in the story, the fucking playbook went out the window and they just started doing.
And they probably, and like I'm not gonna lie,
it's like all of the people were in a room and they did a line of coke and we're like, fucking, what's the craziest? Go right. And then they just like fucking, all right, got the script right here. No revisions, nothing. It's like the craziest shit ever. They like, just went, they just rolled with it.
They're like, it's Midnight Club on PlayStation. That's where we're at right now. How do we make it Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
just like, shipped it.
Dude, exactly. Yeah. Ship it. Yeah. Fucking get the cast. Like, call Vin, bro. Call Vin. Like, let's get him in here. Family. Yeah.
The family can stop terrorism.
Family and the Furious, bro. That's gonna be what the next one's called.
It's crazy. But yeah, I get why they did it because it appeals to more. Because like the car club, it's about to sound so corny, but like one of the last like original Fast and the Furious, I started like driving my car. Like I had a license then, and it might have been like 4 or 5. And when the night it released, like our whole car group in our town,
Oh
like
my
parked their
gosh.
cars.
You
up
were
in
in
the
a you were
movie
in a
theater.
car group?
No, we have, so our area has like it's kind of fell off now, but like a car meet every weekend for like all the car guys that we have nothing to do. So we would go to this parking lot of abandoned Winn-Dixie every Friday and Saturday.
Mm.
And we would sit there till like 1 or 2 a.m. And then 1 or 2 a.m. would hit, and we would all hit the interstate. And then we would street race on the interstate.
You guys block it off and stuff like that too, or just
yeah. Like we
Damn.
towards the very end, we started actually stopping traffic, but like at the beginning, it was just kind of like we'd stop at like 30 miles per hour and then take off with like the people who wanted to race.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to this place called Mexico, which is like an abandoned highway.
Not actual Mexico.
No, it's called Mexico. It's like a street racing thing.
What did you drive at the time?
So like the only 2 cars I've really had, period, is 07 Dodge Charger V6 that I put 22s on. And then right when I like towards the end of my high school, I got a 09 GTI Volkswagen. And that's kind of how I got my job at Volkswagen, period. So made that a little mom, called it the grocery getter, as a little mom looking car. Because the hatchback.
That's good. I like that. I dig that.
I love that car. I think I'm going to get another
supermarket
one.
burner?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get another one. I know everything about that motor because I worked at Volkswagen, and then I just love that car, period. It like has a sweet spot in my heart.
Yeah.
And then now I have a unpainted twin turbo BMW.
That's because you got in the accident with your truck, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had this. It was like a project car.
Okay.
And then now it's kind of like ramped up the thing, but now no one wants to paint it. So it's kind of it's a driveway ornament right now.
I don't know what my dream car. What's your dream car? I feel like I
got probably like 2.
Because I'm not like a huge car guy. You know what I mean? So I think I would just want like a really nice like 4Runner or like a really nice like GMC Sierra AT4.
So like,
hang on, sorry. That's why I got all those followers, because Ash plugged the fuck out of the channel.
I told you.
Because we were gonna be live. Oh fuck. Oh well.
Yeah, we can always go live for his segment. I don't care.
Nah, I think we'll be okay.
Like a luxury car, probably like a Porsche GT3. And
Porsche GT. Let me look that up. Porsche.
Yeah.
GT3. Ooh, this thing's fucking clean, bro.
Yeah, that's like your basic sports super fast car, whatever, blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like dream. Let me think of like a street car.
Why is it so hard to just open like an image on the internet anymore? You know what I mean?
It was because they came out with a new file,
bro.
I'm gonna ask Ash about that when he gets on.
So fucking annoying, bro.
It's called a WebP file.
Yeah, I'm literally just trying to pull this up so like we can show it, and it's like I can't, bro. It's like so fucking whack. Like,
and I actually take that back now.
What?
The car.
This is not your favorite, or this is not your dream car?
Okay, it is. All right, so we'll pick that as my sports car.
You can't have two, bro. You have to pick one.
But it's different because it's a classic. And then I want like a 69 Continental.
Okay. 69 Continental. Haha, 6'9".
Post Malone has one. Look up Post Malone's.
16 Post Malone?
Yeah.
Oh, this white one?
I think it's white. I want an all black one, but with white walls.
Oh, dude.
That's my dream car. And those are actually not terrible.
Oh, yeah, look, Posty's sitting on it.
Yeah. I can't see it, but yeah, I believe you.
Well, you have to edit this footage, so. You will. Oh, look, we got Posty's toes in here, bro. We got some free toes. Oh, dude, your camera's all fucked up for this shot. Bro. Trash producer, bro.
Dude, maybe one day I'll move to Texas and we can have Logan live produce.
Yo, that would be fucking dope.
I mean, have you seen like how Tom, Let's talk. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
Like the podcast world. Like, have you seen? And I'm pretty sure they signed with companies, but like, you probably know the most with like Tom Segura. Like, they have a whole network now. So like
For
they started
podcasts?
with, they started with their podcast, and then now they have this lady named Lauren Compton who she gets guests on. It's 30 minutes long. She like goes on dates with them, and she just basically asks them questions about like how they are dating wise, and then
Wait, she goes on dates with who?
they're called dates, but she's just interviewing these like comedians, celebrities,
Oh, okay.
and like goes over questions about
Like
their dating life.
like Jerry Seinfeld's thing that he does on Netflix. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm. But she basically just like points out red flags and like how they are as people. And then he's got one with another guy that's a comedian that I think it's a little more like Eric Andre type.
Mm.
And then they got Two Bears, One Cave. Then his wife's got a podcast. But like,
And
they have
that's
a whole
all
net-
under the same umbrella?
Yes, it's under like so they have like 5 shows,
Yeah, bro.
5 or 6 shows under one studio, and they sell ads on all of their videos. It's
That's what
it's the new network is on the internet.
I want, like, once we get this shit rolling, like, I want to be like, okay, like, we got this shit going. We'll do this shit once a week, but I want to produce other people's podcasts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And because it's the same team. It's like Nadav and a dude named I forgot his name. But anyway, it's the same team that produces everyone, and it's insane. So like Tom Segura moved it to Austin, Texas. Where
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard it
And
on his
then-
last Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah. And then Bert's in
podcast.
LA.
Yeah.
And so Tom has his own setup for Two Bears, One Cave at his area, and then Bert has his own setup. So they just go back and forth from like LA to
Yeah. No, that's whack. I'm not doing that. You need to come to Texas, bro.
okay. But if you're making it, well, so like for them, it gives them a reason to like see other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And like
so-
whatever's convenient for you
Yeah.
know, for the guest or whatever, to if they want to have them on. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, if
I feel like
Bert's
we
in
wouldn't have any
Austin-
objections to getting people to Austin though. Like, you know, if we get to that
No.
point.
But like Bert and them, that he can go to like perform at the Mothership or get on Kill
Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
or Joe Rogan and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you set up hubs everywhere, and it's cool because it's like what Fox is now everyone's kind of creating their own Fox on their own YouTube channel,
Right.
and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. That's like the dream now. You know what I mean? To have like a conglomerate.
Like imagine
of,
having your own
of podcasts.
Oprah channel. Like Oprah has her own network,
Yeah.
but it's now on the internet. It's pretty
Right.
cool.
Yeah. No, I think that's like the next wave. I think you're seeing this huge surge of podcasters and stuff like that are, and I think it's always been this like little niche thing, and I think that's going away now. I don't think it's super niche anymore. I think it's like it's going to become like a mainstream thing, probably within the next, I don't know, what do you say, like 5 years? That's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where
These
it's like,
networks are going to be trying to probably buy these people under like Fox Online and stuff like that.
well, I think we've started to see it with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, you know, just got a fat
Killing
contract
it.
from ESPN, crushing.
And I'm
it.
not a big sports guy, but I know about Pat. Like,
Yeah, and he really said, like, you know, he was like, oh, we're not gonna change any of the way that we do our show, blah blah blah. And everyone was like, oh, bullshit, you have to, because you're gonna be corporate now. You're gonna be, you know. He's like, nah, and we were like, bullshit. He stayed true to his word. His show has not changed much. Besides, they don't say fuck anymore. That's like the extent of you know what's changed with his show.
I think the top 2 people right now that are killing it, and they're 2 different avenues, which is funny, is Pat McAfee's killing it in sports, where he like has DraftKings, but it's just kind of like DraftKings is everywhere, but their show's still the same. And then the other one's 100 Thieves with Nate Shot, where everything's still the same. Like he still creates the same type of content house stuff, but it's like this room of the compound may be sponsored by like Totino's, and then this room of the compound may be Rocket Mortgage.
That's
so, like,
bizarre.
dude, his whole compound's paid from sponsors, I think.
That's
like
insane to think
The
about.
100 Thieves warehouse. And so at one point, it may have been even Juvie, but that's his own brand. Like the outside of his whole compound was painted like a brand. And like that's how they get paid. And so they can keep up with their regular production and how they do things, but it's like, in a way, it's like music videos. Like music videos do the same thing with alcohol. Like you
they'll
see a
have
Rick Ross
bottles and,
video,
like,
they'll have Bel Air
Grey Goo-
everywhere.
yeah, or whatever.
But
yeah.
it's still the same music video. It's just instead of like their alcohol, it's a sponsored alcohol.
Ayo,
And so it's pretty.
You know what I'm saying? Miller,
Yeah.
Ayo, hey Miller Lite.
Yo,
you know
Voodoo.
What I mean?
Where's
You know,
it at?
I actually
Voodoo
know
Ranger?
that we know the social media manager.
That's
for
what
that.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Fruit Force.
He lives in Austin. I've met him a bunch of times.
Every week we're
I
on
just
here.
I don't fuck with Voodoo Ranger though. You know what I mean?
Fruit
We can
Force.
edit that out, but like
I do, so I don't care. Fruit
Um,
Punch IPA is my jam.
on the box, on the Miller Lite box, it says the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, bro. It says that on the box now. I can never.
This is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Cowboys.
Yeah. And listen, he
And I
drinks
don't know
Miller Lights,
shit.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it says the only beer of the not the official beer anymore. It's the only beer. Bro, I will never until I die, bro. Bury me with a fucking sixer of Miller.
I will say that is one thing about anything Texas native is they're loyal.
Oh yeah.
Like our football teams here and our beers here, we're only messing with them.
Yeah. 1000%.
I mean, Tim the Tap Man's like an exception, but
yeah.
through complexity.
He's like always been a Cowboys fan though.
Did you see Tim playing Tarkov with Doc?
No, how did that go?
I don't know how exactly it went, but like I saw they were back on Tarkov.
Let's see if they have a clip we can.
I know they have a live.
Yeah.
And I think Lupo was supposed to play with them, but I think Lupo also promised other people to play with. I don't know how it all worked out. I'm speaking out of my ass, but
Yeah.
I know he mentioned playing with Doc at least, and then maybe Tim was like, "I want to play Tarkov."
Oh, this one clip is I saw this clip. It's the only one where he like couldn't get his name.
How is
really?
my name?
Yeah, he couldn't get his name. Oh, you can't see this. Fuck.
I can't see it, but just play it and I'll fake
How
react.
is
Yeah.
my name taken on Tarkov? Dude,
He
I
like couldn't get his
swear,
name.
Any video game.
Every single one of his names was taken, and then the last name he
to
tried
make
worked, and it was
my
like
name. Timmy Tenders, and you got Tim the 2-ton.
him the 2-ton.
2-ton Timmy.
That's like the last one, and that one worked. He tried like every single one of his fucking names, all taken. He tried Timmy 2-ton, and it worked. That's his name, bro. Oh god, he's a funny motherfucker, man. I haven't been keeping up with streams a lot, bro.
Yeah. I really haven't either.
I went through like that like few week period when I first started the job where I was like not busy, and now that like I know what I'm doing and like people know that they can rely on me and stuff. I pump shit out quick, bro. Like I'm fucking I'm on it. Like now I'm like buried in work. I'm always fucking busy, bro.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
You show you're good, and then
Yeah. So I'm going through that. So I have no downtime anymore. I'm like I get there at 8 a.m. and I fucking leave at 5. I'm busy the whole time. But I be getting my gym workouts in the mornings.
Okay.
Yeah, I get there.
What time you going?
We have a pretty nice gym in the office.
that's
Down
sick.
on the first floor of the office. We have a pretty nice gym. I get there at 7. We're like 6:45, and then I work out for like an hour to 45 minutes, and then I shower and head upstairs. So, been getting my shit in, man. I'm doing like calisthenics. I don't do any. I've been like trying some new shit, man. I'm trying to get off the shit that like I'm just used to doing.
Yeah.
You know, like
We get to shock your body, and I know you're working.
Yeah. So I'd be doing like calisthenics. I did like a calisthenics leg workout where I like just did like body weight squats, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and then I put some weights on the squat rack. I did that, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. I can't really do that many right now. I can do like 3 pull-ups, bro, and I can only do like 12.
How hard it is to build for pull-ups,
brother. And I'm the heaviest I've ever been. I think I was 240. I think I'm probably down like 230 already though, because I don't
even look at a scale.
I check. Ange wants to check every Monday because she wants to do like a thing. She wants
Progress report.
Yeah, so we're gonna check it every Monday. But I've been eating really healthy. You've been like on a good diet and stuff too, or no?
I've been cutting back on a lot of stuff. Like I don't have a strict thing. Like ever since I first started the gym, I kind of know what my body likes and doesn't.
Yeah.
And so like my body doesn't really care for dairy as much. I think I hold a little bit more, this may sound weird, but I think I hold a little bit more estrogen than some males do
Got
with
them
like
man
dairy
titties.
stuff. Not necessarily, but like I could just tell like I don't feel as good when I ingest a lot of dairy.
Yeah. That's
And
why you
so-
hate big dairy, huh?
Yeah.
We can get into
But
that.
at the
on
same
we got
time-
next episode, bro. Big dairy.
When we don't have a guest next, dude, I have a whole notes filled already with big dairy. I just didn't want to scare our guests with it. But like, but when I do keto, it reverses it because you're on a lot of dairy when you're on keto.
Yeah.
So it's weird. So like, if
You don't
I'm not
have
on
to be,
keto,
but it's easier.
no,
Yeah.
well, you can need the fats, and it's easy to get fats from dairy.
Yeah. Cheese. Well, just cheese,
Yeah,
right?
Cheese,
Like just cheese.
meats. Yeah.
Because you
pretty
can't
much.
have
But-
milk. You can't have. It really
No,
is
you
just
can't.
cheese, right?
Cause yeah,
Yeah. Because milk
but
has
you end
hella
up eating
sugar.
a lot of cheese,
Yeah.
and so
I just eat a
on
lot of cheese
keto-
in general.
I do too. I think that's why I like keto
Yeah.
because like I can
Cheese
eat a
and
block
meat,
of
bro.
cheese right now.
Bro,
like,
same. Like
like,
yeah.
you give me a square of pepper jack, it's gone.
Munster's my
Done.
shit. Munster cheese, my shit.
Never had it. It looks sketch.
Looks
It looks
sketch.
Cheese with freckles is not for me.
That's true. That's true. But yeah,
But yeah, I think
I've been eating pretty good. I've been eating salads and shit for lunch. That's the hardest thing for me is because like at my work they just provide
balsamic vinaigrette.
they provide lunches. No, I fuck with ranch. Like
Well, that's high fat.
yeah. I'll eat. I don't think I'm not scared of fats. I feel like a lot of this shit is like a lot of this. That's why I'm trying new things. You know what I mean? I always would go like fucking.
Well, you need
like,
fats and carbs.
I feel like I would always stick to like low carb, high protein, high fat type diets and all this crazy shit. And like now I'm just like I just try to eat fairly healthy and like less food and stay in a caloric deficit while especially if I like today I didn't work out. So like I skipped breakfast like just because I'm not really that hungry anyways. If I work out, I'll smash like 2 eggs because like I feel like you need like some protein and just helps your body like recover. But like today I didn't work out this morning, so I just skipped breakfast. I didn't have my eggs.
What if we got on like testosterone?
I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gonna do that till I'm 40. As soon as I'm 40, I'm gonna go get tested.
Well, what if we're both low? Why would you wait till you
I'll
don't
wait,
wait till you're
bro.
40 to
I'll
get
wait.
tested.
I'm not gonna be on testosterone therapy at 32 years old, bro. Even if I need it, I'm not gonna.
That's
do that.
when it goes down for men.
Yeah, but then you can just go. It can go back up. You just get it later.
That's not what
I'm not
happens.
gonna be on low T therapy.
It's
No
not
way.
Okay, it is that, but it's like you may only be taking 15 milligrams a day, a week, or something like that. Like you just may be at the bottom of your age limit.
Listen, bro. You see these fucking guns, dude? All right, I don't need. Look at these guns, bro. What?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm 26 and I think I'm gonna go get tested. just to
No,
see
bro, you don't need it.
to see where my
Why
levels
don't you
are.
wait until you see what this workout regimen does for you first? Like, what if? Because like, what's gonna
I'm
happen?
pissing blood. I'm gonna see what happens a year later.
That's
to see
not the
what,
same thing, bro.
But in a way,
No,
well,
it's not. Because what if you don't need it? What if you can naturally
don't-
increase your testosterone levels by just working out again and being active and like, what if you just naturally can increase your testosterone? Because that's
I mean,
a thing.
that's definitely a thing.
But you're gonna go get tested anyways, because then that's gonna be in your mind. You're gonna get
No.
yeah, it is. You're gonna go get tested, right? They're gonna be like, oh, Grant, you have low T, and then hang on.
No, because I'm gonna see how many milligrams I need to get back to normal, and then I'm gonna go hit up some dude on the black market so I can know what to go over to get fucking ripped as fuck. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, hang on. This is a good test case for us because like there's a lot of things that I probably should have told Ash before this fucking like I didn't let him know about Guest Star, and apparently Guest Star only works in Chrome. He has to download Chrome, so like
Oh yeah,
I
he's an
fucked
edge
up.
guy.
Yeah.
All right, so like I know you're not gonna listen, but it's kind of for the podcast. If I'm 15 milligrams under my recommended, right?
I'm listening.
Like let's say I need 15 milligrams to be back to where like my age should be for testosterone. I take the 15 milligrams from my doctor, boom, needle in the butt. Then I know, hey, drug dealer, how many steroids do you recommend black market? And he's like, a guy with normal testosterone should take 30 a week. I'm like, cool. Well, I'm getting 15 to get to normal. Now I could take 30 to get fucking ripped. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I feel like that's cheating, bro. That's literally cheating.
Okay, first of all,
That's the same as
every
using-
Marvel actor you see is
I
cheating
don't
on
give a
steroids.
shit, bro. That's the same. They're using. Listen, that is the same as using fucking hacks in Tarkov, bro. You're basically a hacker in real life. I'm gonna disown you, bro. Hey,
I'm not
I need a
competing
new
in
guest for this
anything.
podcast.
I'm not competing.
I mean, I need a new co-host. I mean, so
It's for me,
what
myself, and
about
I.
in Escape from Tarkov? Those motherfuckers aren't competing in tournaments. They're cheating. They're fucking ruining everyone else's life. You're ruining my life.
Okay, Beth. Okay, perfect. Me cheating in Tarkov is ruining your life because I'm cheating.
You're
me
cheating.
lifting weights has nothing to do with
No,
you.
but because me and you are supposed to fucking be doing this together, and you're gonna cheat to get to your goals, bro. That's it.
Okay,
That's
in all
what it
reality,
is.
I'm a bitch when it comes to steroids, and I'll never do them.
I would do it, but like I'm gonna wait.
I don't want
So,
to get man tits.
what
I don't
I'm-
want my balls to shrink.
Yeah, and that shit's real.
I don't think your wiener shrinks. I think it's
No,
your
no, your
balls.
balls. Yeah,
and
your
that's
balls
what
shrink
people
up.
misconstrue.
Yeah.
Like if I got a little dick, that's just natural. The
I-
balls,
that
may be
I can't
testosterone.
afford to have a smaller dick. Like,
Right.
I can't afford inches,
Yeah.
bro. All right.
But maybe if the balls shrink, it makes the wiener look normal.
I can't afford inch, bro. You know what I mean? Singular. I can't afford inch. All right.
That's why you measure it from the bottom and not the side. You got way more. room.
Dude, yeah. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm for sure
No,
this-
but realistically,
this-
you should see what you're at naturally.
I don't want to. Like right now,
You don't.
I'm gonna
you
wait
don't have to
until I'm gonna wait until I'm in shape. Like I'm gonna see what this workout regimen does for me. Right. I'm gonna get in shape to where I feel good. I'm strong again. Like I look good, and then I'll see how I feel, and maybe I'll go get tested. But even if I'm low, I'm not gonna actually start doing T therapy until like I'm 40.
Hear me out. As an influencer, as yourself, what if you get tested before and you're like, I'm low, right? And then you still do those things and you don't get on testosterone therapy and it goes up to normal. Then you're a case study and you can spit motivation because you're like, hey, I was low. Your boy wasn't producing enough jizz or whatever. Now I worked out.
I
and
got
I'm
plenty of
producing-
jizz, bro.
I got high school level jizz again. then you can just spit motivation at people.
Man, I don't know. It's like that's a slippery slope, man.
It's not.
It's like the beginning of the end when you have to get on low T, bro, on like T therapy.
What are you talking about?
It's like
Everyone that I've heard-
it's like the beginning of the end. It's like,
Dude, the
oh, I
people
need
I heard
assistance,
feel-
you know?
The people I've heard get on test therapy, like I've known young people get on it,
My cousin's on testosterone therapy.
and I heard they feel amazing.
And he's jacked. He's fucking jacked, and he's on
Depression
He's on low
can
T
be caused
therapy.
from low T.
Yeah, but I'm not
gaining weight.
depressed. I'm fat
Do you
because
know
I
that?
eat a lot. How do I? What do you mean?
Well,
Do I know I'm depressed? Yeah, I know I'm not depressed.
I'm kidding. I'm not saying you're depressed, but I'm just
No,
saying,
I'm just saying, like, yeah. I'm not. I don't know. I don't feel the only. Like, I don't have the side effects of low T besides like being fat. And I'm like not even that fat, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't have low energy. My energy's chilling. I have I have like good sex drive, you know what I mean? I don't know, like I don't have the other like I feel
I
like
do
maybe
get
if I
it.
had like the other side effects, I would be
Yeah.
like, okay, like
Yeah,
but,
that's
like I
fair.
know.
Okay, that's
but
fair.
the only like, you know, telltale sign of low T that I have is like the fact that I'm like out of shape. But that's
So
because
what
I'm
if-
just lazy and I eat too much, you know?
What if your doctor was like, your T levels are good to where like mentally you're fine? If you boosted them up, you would lose 20 pounds next month. Would you do it? You see what I'm saying?
I would wait. I would probably, yes. But I would lose like 20 pounds on my own first.
But it's not cheating because you're being prescribed a medicine just like if you had the flu, it's an antibiotic.
Yeah. I would
So-
definitely lose like 20 pounds first on my own.
I think
And
I'm
then
convincing.
do it.
I think I'm trying to convince myself is what's
Yeah.
happening.
I'm set on I am set on 40. Like 40 is my like time. That's like my cutoff for that's when I want to, you know.
I don't think Mother Nature works that way though.
What do you mean?
I think Mother Nature is like, hey, we're gonna wait till Fab's 40 to get a testosterone.
Mother Nature can't fucking tell me what to do, bro. I am in charge. Okay.
Okay.
Mother Nature is not in charge of me.
Okay.
All right. 40. Maybe I'll go get tested. Maybe.
You don't have to do anything. You can just get tested to see where you're at.
Yeah, I think
for the podcast we both get tested.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
For the podcast we both get tested. And one thing, I hate needles. I'm terrified of blood. I almost pass out every time I give blood. So this is going to be rough if this is a thing.
I think that's a great idea. I think we do that. Hi, Ash.
You haven't pulled him in yet.
Yeah, he's on.
No,
he's not in the stream, but I think he can hear me.
Either he's muted or you have him backstage so he can't speak.
I don't know if that's how this works.
It says backstage for him.
He says like, yeah, he's like, yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our second guest ever is with us. The great, legendary Ash. Tarkov phenomenon. Branching into the RP. And, man, let me tell you what. The guy has unparalleled strategy when it comes to content. He's got groundbreaking new strategies that he's putting into place that's accelerating his growth using all crazy types of platforms, TikTok especially. So give it up for our boy Ash. Welcome. Hello, sir.
Hey,
how are you?
What's up?
I'm good. A little last second trying to figure this all out.
I know, dude. That's my bad, bro. That is my bad.
It's nice because it caused me to try to solve a problem I've had actually many times with other things. Because I use the two PCs and my camera and everything is hooked up to the PC where I'm looking up at all times. Right. And for some reason, it just clicked because of this to be able to stream it to a different Discord so I can watch it like straightforward. So now that solves a lot of other problems. So I'm happy we ran into this.
We're just out here helping you out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, unintentionally as it may be.
Hey, that's how it goes, though. That's how you learn things.
We appreciate.
Fab's not the greatest with directions.
Okay, dude. Like, let's not get crazy. All right, we're not here to throw Fab under the bus. Okay, we're here to highlight how amazing Ash is. Okay,
well, thank
and
you.
how incredibly attractive he looks. And we appreciate you having the time for us, brother. Talk to me about GCX. How was that?
Dude, GCX was awesome.
Yeah. Was that your first time?
At GCX, yeah, but it was my second con because I went to TwitchCon last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember embracing you there. That was nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were some of the highlights that you had at GCX?
I mean, realistically, and you know how it goes at cons. It's just good to see the people you talk to all year. I know you are very fortunate to get to see people more so because where you live, and I don't at all. You know, like I don't get to see fucking anybody. And so it's just good to see friends. That's probably a huge highlight. But one thing that really stood out to me was I met one of my viewers and their young daughter, and
oh, I think I saw the pictures of that. Yeah.
They were very excited to see me, which is always cool to see and experience. But their daughter was a nice little girl named Savannah, and she had crab claws. You know, if you've been to the stream, you see the crab dance I do, and she had the identical crab claws but her size. And she put them on, did the little crab dance for a second, and asked me to sign them.
That's cool.
And I was like, "This is so sweet." And then on top of that, she pulled out a painting that she painted for me. And it was funny because it was like, this little girl painted this beautiful little painting, and it's like a hellscape. You know, there's like volcano and fire and stuff, and wrote my name and gave me like a little Pokemon card that matched it. So it was that I didn't expect. You know, like you expect to see friends, you expect to see viewers, but something like that is just so sweet and kind of eye-opening in a way. You know, like I didn't know that. Like I reached that as like formal to say it, but reach that demographic even.
Sure.
You know, it was kind of eye-opening, but just how sweet it was to be able to meet her and get that gift was just it was awesome. Like I almost teared up.
That's amazing.
I played it off really cool when I walked
yeah. You were,
I was like,
hit you in the feels a little bit.
Like, Yeah, I was like, damn, I gotta go put this in my room real quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this.
Yeah, dude, that's like one of those things that you just like snapshot and you never forget that. You know what I mean? Was
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was that like validating for you in any way? Like for obviously we know how much hard work and effort. I don't think a lot of people realize how hard you work and how organized you are and how much thought process goes into what you do. Was that validating for you? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to validation, it was probably the same as meeting, anybody. But just the fact that, so much effort was put in on the other end just to put a smile on my face and stuff like that was super cool. But yeah, just in general, a lot of that stuff, and that's what GCX was big for me, and TwitchCon was too. But it's just such a validating experience because sometimes you really don't know where you stand in the space until you're out in the space.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because we're used to the internet. This is our space. So like being out in a public area where you're in your space has been greatly eye-opening and validating for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like when you are accustomed to like being with your like your community and they back your every play and they're so supportive, like, but it's behind a computer screen. And then when you get to see how much every day that you put on for them means to them in person, yeah, it's like it goes such a long way for sure.
Yeah, and that was huge because you're right, it is different in person. And another thing was just like for a place like GCX, and like I said, it was kind of the same with TwitchCon, but a little more advanced this time just because of how much further along my career is, I guess, by now. I did not expect just how many people knew who I was.
Yeah.
Something as simple like that. Like I don't watch a lot of streams, but I know faces, here and there. I know names here and there, even if I never watch them. Like, who some of like the bigger hitters are.
Sure.
And like they wouldn't ask my name. It was just like, yo, dude, what's up, man? And
Yeah.
but they know who I am already, and like they
so
would ask me
you're
questions
meaning street, like other creators, not necessarily.
yeah, and like they already like some of them already knew who I was.
Yeah.
And like, and it's not even like they forgot because they would call me Ash and ask me questions about relevant things, like almost like receipts, like yeah, you did this.
Oh, I know you.
What I mean? How did you do it? Exactly? Like,
Yeah.
like that was probably one of the most validating things too. Is just like it was like I could go with any group.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Like
it was weird in a cool way.
Like in the sense, like you kind of like you feel like you belong, right? Like in
Yeah.
that sense, right? Yeah.
I felt like I was in high school again.
Yeah.
That was in high school. Like I had my like little group, right? But
Yeah.
like I was cool with everybody. I was cool with, the gamers. I was cool with the jocks, the popular kids. But like I could, dip in and say, hey, what's good? And everyone's cool. And then I have my own little group. Like that's kind of how it was, like the same kind of dynamic. Like I just it felt nice to be welcomed in each, like almost every group across the board of people I know who they are, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. What were some of your key differences, obviously, besides, because like GCX is always huge on community, right? And like that aspect of it, I think that's probably what makes GCX so special, is the community, aspect of it. But what, other than that, like what were your key takeaways as far as differences between Twitch and GCX?
A lot of it was the size, because TwitchCon being my first con, like that's always going to be cool to me, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's massive, and you see your friends, which is cool. You get to meet some people, which is cool, but there's a lot of people that aren't going to see you there. There's people like me and you, for example, like we met, hey, good to finally meet you, blah, blah, blah. And then we didn't see each other. Not that we were avoiding each other. It's just like you're pulled in different ways when things are so big. Right. And we even have the same friend groups. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even still, you never see each other at something like that.
Yeah.
And GCX was different. I was kind of able, like you would have the times where you're with your little, 2-3 man groups, but a lot of time you were actually getting to spend some time with like your buddies that you play with more so. And that was really cool for me, because like that is a huge reason I go to these things. You get the networking aspect, you get the I get to meet you aspect, but like Yes, you're cooped up, like when you're doing this, especially at the level that many of us are doing it, where you're just like, I'm just here and like this is all I do. So like being able to escape and see everybody is a huge reason I can go out anyway. So GCX being more tight knit was like that was probably like the biggest like advantage to me of GCX over TwitchCon.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't agree more. Just wasn't in the cards for me this year, but more than likely I'll be there next year. Did they announce they usually like announce the dates and ticket sales like on the last day? Did they do that again this year? Like, are tickets available and stuff like that yet?
What, for TwitchCon?
For GCX.
Oh, for GCX? That no idea.
They usually like announce.
I don't pay attention to anything, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't
Like,
there. I don't know.
when people start like signing up for stuff and they're like, "You going?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, maybe."
Yeah. You going? I'm
Let's
there.
see what happens a month before.
Yeah, well, like TwitchCon, like I'll probably be there. I didn't book my Airbnb till last week.
Oh shit.
And I made sure I got one that like has cancellation up to the week before.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in case.
You know, like
yeah.
I never even booked flight. I never bought the tickets for the thing.
Yeah.
You know, like so I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go. I'll kind of get
Feeling
myself
it,
set
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and we'll figure it out when we get a little closer.
How was the after party? The Disney stuff. Did you go to that?
Oh, the Universal.
The Universal stuff, yeah.
That was very cool. That was very cool for multiple reasons. Like one, like having a little section of your of the park to yourself. You know, they killed it when they did that, and like you could just hop on they had like 4 rides open in that area. You just hop on and ride them, you know, having a different like scenery, you know, to hang out with your friends and stuff, which was really cool. Gave everybody something to do. But what was especially cool to me was I flew down mid that week, you know, and I had like a day there before the convention started, hang out with people. But my wife was home, you know, my wife wasn't planning on coming. And when she found out about the Universal stuff, she was like, hell yeah.
Oh,
she
man,
bought
yeah.
a 1-day pass on Saturday. Right? Because the thing is, my wife and I go there every year.
Sure.
You know, aside from like COVID, and I think the year after where it was still weird with COVID, like we go every year. So
okay, so you're like a veteran.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
we were there in April.
Okay.
We were just there.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
shit,
Like
okay.
we're like the kind of people like we'll go in. You don't. I don't need a map or anything. I know what rides. We know what rides to skip. We can do both parks. We can get a park to park thing. Do everything in a day. The good ones maybe multiple times and be good.
Damn.
You know, like we used to go down for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And then like a couple years in, by day 3, we're like, what do you want
Had
to
it
do?
down.
You know, like we're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
So it was like, so we love that stuff, and it's got a special place in our heart because that's where we got engaged. I proposed to her in Harry Potter World.
That's awesome.
She's a huge Harry Potter fan. Like,
Yeah. And
you always see my tattoos are all flyers. Her whole sleeve's Harry Potter.
Oh, that's sick.
You know, so like we were there. Like the first couple years we were there. You know, she's buying all the stuff from the stores because it was relatively new. You know, she got me a robe just to have like a Harry Potter robe with her, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, we'll wear it to the park." And one day we both wore our robes to the park together. And I'm like, "This is the perfect time." So I actually proposed to her there, so that's got that special thing in our hearts too. So being able to experience a whole different way of seeing Universal and having it closed down was super cool for both of us.
That's super cool. Sick, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I haven't been to that park, and the Harry Potter part was sectioned off as well, right? You guys were able to do that or no?
We were very surprised because a lot of the times I've heard when they close off something for a private event, it's usually mostly the Harry Potter world, and this was not. But we did hit it. Like they let you in a couple hours before. Gotcha. I think they closed the park for us at 9, and they let us in at 5. So we got the full run of the Harry Potter area in the Universal park that we were allowed in.
Nice, dude. Nice. I'm gonna quick break for a beer break, and then I'll be right back. If you guys keep talking, obviously, if you want.
Okay.
Handsome.
What's up? How's it going? I really have to pee, but I'm gonna wait till he comes back. So
Hey,
how
pee.
was? No, it's
cut
good.
this out.
Yeah, I'll cut it out for sure. But I want to ask you. I know you didn't get that far in RP today, but I mean, I guess you only met Larry, so I don't think you could really have too much to go off of on that. But
no, I hope I like it. You know, I haven't really watched too many people do it. You know, I've seen clips, but clips gonna show us the best stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's one of those things like I don't know, man. Like some of that shit, like even when I do watch it, feels so awkward to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even like a nerdy awkward. You know, it's just like a human awkward. You know what I mean?
Because
it's
it's like you're actually meeting people, but
Yeah,
you're also a character, so it's.
But that's the thing, and like that's why this time I'm trying to make it the easiest, and I'm just like, I named him Bobby, like that's my name.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to make it as seamless as possible for the RP. Like I said, the awkwardness doesn't come from RP. Like I'll nerd out. I'll RP anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'll RP a fucking dragon and caw.
Nice.
No, but like so like that's not like the awkward thing, but like yeah, like when you're RPing, it's like you're there, and then when people are all standing in a circle and they're like, yeah, like that's weird to me anyway. You know what I mean? So like now it's weird to me in a game, you know. So like I hope I like the RP because I think I can kill it there in that scene.
Yeah.
But like I gotta like it, you know, to a point. Like I can't dislike it, so I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I mean, even Fab said like he'll come across my clips that I post of RP, and he'd be like, I have to skip past. He's like, some of yours are great. He's like, some of them I'll watch all the way through. He's like, some of them are just feel cringe, and he's like, I have to instantly swipe out of your clip.
And that's what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying,
I get it, I understand.
Yeah, like I know I see my content. You know, I do it all. Like I fucking edit it all, and like even hard RP just feels like. I hope I like it because I know the content's gonna be good. Like if I get going and I enjoy it, you know, because when I'm enjoying it is when if I'm having fun, the most creative stuff comes out. But
right,
I'm scared I'm not scared, but you know, if I have any worry about joining GTA RP today, it's that I'm straight up just not gonna like it.
Yeah,
you know, and like even when I went to raid out, you know, I was scrolling to find like someone with lower viewership.
Yeah,
and usually like any game I play, Tarkov, DayZ, whatever. I do scroll, and I'm in the sub 20s, right? I was like, holy shit, the viewership in this game.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
I had 300 people in there watching, and I had to scroll to get under me, right? And I was like, I'm usually fucking. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like I'm usually top couple rows in anything I play. I couldn't even find fucking where I was. Right. So I'm like, holy shit. And I even said it on like when I was looking for raid, I'm like, the viewership in this I knew it was big, but I didn't realize it was like that. So like, I want to like this.
Yeah. Cause it's very spread out.
Yeah. But I think I could be good at it. And it's got eyes like that. Like, please, man,
huge.
Please, Bobby, like this shit, please.
Cause it's not like Tarkov where it says like 30,000 people and 19,000 of them are landmark. Right.
Yeah.
It's like
it was spread. Like it was spread
consistent.
Out.
So,
but like
it's
them
different.
eyes, man. If you can get them looking, you know,
game changer for sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like a streamer, so like when I play, there can be awkward moments, and it's nothing for me because I'll just be like, all right, and just walk away. And it's but like you have to put on a show, or you're trying to record for a clip.
Yeah. The other thing is with the awkward things, I can cut out. And like when I'm live, I can just talk to chat and be like, "The fuck is going on with this?" Right? Like I can fill that. But like when I'm cutting all that stuff out to try to make something, like that might be weird. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Might kill the story.
Yeah, we'll see.
I did like a year of GTRP when I was on Facebook, and
which is crazy.
And GTA RP on Facebook was bonkers, bro. Like. The algorithm would just go nuts with GTA, and it didn't even have to be RP. Any GTA gameplay on Facebook, the algorithm would take it and be crazy. So naturally, we all gamed the algorithm and jumped into GTRP. And I did like a sheriff, and I did that character for like 7 months, and it was pretty fun. It's cool. It's pretty fun. But what made it special, and I think it's what makes it special with any game, is like I had a really cool group of people playing, and I knew them as well. So there was like that storyline in the server RP with your characters together, but then there was also the trash talk afterwards, like in Discord and stuff like that, right? Like what is it called when it's like in your head or whatever they call it, when you like just talk to your friends and you know what I'm talking about? No? Okay.
No, I'm not. I was letting you riff, dude.
But yeah, it's like that having both storylines of like in the server and then also talking shit on Twitter or like in Discord later while you're live still.
Are you talking about meta? Is that what, the meta shit? that what you're looking for?
No, meta's like, because like metagaming is like whenever you like are watching other right? Is that what basically what that
it's
is?
sharing information.
Yeah, it's just like you have like an advantage in the. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking like you have like
I don't know what, dude. To be honest, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I know what you're saying, but like no, like I know what you're saying, like structurally, like I know what you're talking about, but like, is there a word for that? Are you just like
that's what they call it. It's like they call it in your head, like, oh, I'm in my head right now. That's what they call it when you're RPing. Really? Yeah.
I don't know. You're
the RP guy.
I started today. You said you did 7 months of this. You're gonna ask me? I didn't.
I thought you were listen. I thought I was talking to the resident RP guy. All right.
No,
I must be mistaken.
Yeah, you.
Next guest.
Severely mistaken.
Next guest. So have you done any Tarkov with the wipe? Not even a little bit. Nothing.
No, and it's funny because I haven't played Tarkov since February, right? And I pretty much hard stopped.
Okay.
And like, you know how that goes with trying to like hard stop a game. It's tough. I was just like, I had to, right? I had to for me, you know? So I hard stopped in February and I haven't touched it since. Wow. The closest thing I've done to touch it was like, I'm still interested in the journey. You know, I still consider Tarkov one of my, if not my, at this point, it's got to be my favorite game of all time. Just pure amount of hours I put in.
Right.
You know, I don't have 5K hours on anything else. Probably not even close. Right. So I'm still interested. I'll still watch the podcasts and stuff. And the only thing remotely close I've done to do anything was type in the codes in case I log in. So I have some gear. Right. But I haven't played. I haven't played an online raid since February. And it wasn't until literally last night that I uninstalled it. I just had it on my PC.
It's gone.
I had to make room for GTA, so sure. I had to delete it. So it's officially off my computer right now. But dude, I had no interest in this wipe. No interest probably in next wipe. If anything, like I would play it again. Like I'll try Arena, of course. I'm excited to try Arena, whether it's on
if
stream
that
or
ever
not.
Comes out. Yeah.
I think they're dropping it in September.
Okay.
At least for some sort of play test and like.
Okay.
I feel like if you know a couple people and there's you know what I mean, like you probably get in the playtest. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Not really as like as a business venture, because like I'm a goofy dude when it comes to content, but I'm a competitive fucking dude in general. So like I love that stuff. Just I probably wouldn't stream it, but I am excited to try Arena and play that off stream, whatever. And I don't know, man. I don't know what it would take me to go back to that. Like,
yeah, that was what I was gonna ask you is what would it take for them to implement
full
for you
vision? Like, if their full vision came out where everything's like open world, like, because to me, like Tarkov was when I first started playing, I was like, there's nothing like this.
Yeah.
Right. And I still believe that to be true.
Yeah. 100%.
Right. Everyone's like I still think there's nothing like Tarkov. But after 5,000 hours, and you probably have way more than that, and a lot of people have way more than that, right? But even after that amount of time, it's not new anymore.
Yeah.
Like, sure, like maybe other people don't do it, but like that kind of like wore off. But like if Tarkov goes their full vision where everything's open world, you know, and you can go from customs and roll out the back way by the trailers.
Dude,
and, because you could see the interchange map, the Ultra Mall.
Right.
Yep.
Ultra Mall. Like you could see that from the back of customs. Like imagine just walking over there.
Everything in theory should be able to connect. Yeah.
And if it does, that once again to me will be a new experience unlike anything remotely close to what is out, which was my original like love of Tarkov. Like, dude, you can't get this anywhere.
Yeah.
It just it's still that, but like it wears off, you know, feeling wears off. So I don't know. Like a lot of the things they did just, you know, I feel like I'm running in mud and like I get it. Like, you know, they have their direction. I respect it. You know what I mean? They ain't making a fucking game for me, you know. And in fact, more power to you. You're gonna make the game you want and knock off everybody fucking ranting in your ear.
Yeah,
like I respect that. You know, I wouldn't want somebody telling me what to do.
I think we need more developers like that.
Maybe, but here's the thing.
To an extent, I think. Yeah,
I respect it, but like as they're changing it. And like they're pretty stubborn about keeping it.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like I respect the mentality, but like sometimes I feel like there has to be a little give, like make it as realistic as playable. Like that's how it felt 3 years ago. I'm like, damn, this is the most realistic game ever.
Yeah.
Right.
And now they're making it so you're wheezing when you carry a gun. Like, okay, now it's too realistic.
Yeah.
Like I already like when I was like, fuck yeah, realistic as playable, and I'm like, god damn, this game is so real.
Yeah.
Like I'm like all this shit. Like, and that was before inertia. I was like, damn, this game is like realistic as fuck. And then I'm like, okay, now like I feel like me. Like
Right. Yeah.
I gotta take a break.
Goes down the stairs.
Yeah, I run up for something. I'm like, right?
Dude.
And I feel like that playing the goddamn game now. And I'm like, well, like I get it. Like make your like if you want to make your game, I'm not gonna like knock it. I just won't play it. Which you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit there and bitch and keep playing it and be like, why don't you do this? And keep playing. Like I just simply won't fucking play it, and I'm cool with it. Right. But I do miss how it was, and like if they keep going that route, I'll probably try it at full release. Don't know if I'll like it, but that's kind of what it would take.
Yeah.
Or they kind of like revert things and realize, okay, this is a video game.
Yeah, let's make it more.
And like realistic but fun, you know, and like
find a middle ground.
Yeah, and with all that stuff they added, and like things just feel less rewarding now. You know, like
I think that comes from like you said, like
it's all pain.
The repetition. I think because we've done it so many times, it's like it's just not like as you know what I mean. It's also not as challenging when you have 5,000 more hours than the next player. Like it's not you know that if you get into a gunfight, like most of the time you didn't lose because you were not more skilled. You just lost because Tarkov sucks. Like and I feel like what
Yeah, and that is true. But like another thing is like I feel like when I first started playing Tarkov, actually the first few wipes, like you could like the whole allure of Tarkov to me and like a lot of other people was that you could play the game the way you want, right? There, and I'm not talking like W Key versus Rat, Extract Camper versus Task and Timmy, whatever you want to call it. Like you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted, and if it was fun for you, cool, right?
Yep.
You might not like somebody else's play style, whatever, but you know what? If you're having fun, fucking cool. And like my way, because this taps into what you just said with the redundancy of every wipe doing the same things, right? Is like, well, I got to the point maybe 3, 4, 5 wipes in where I would play early wipe as is, as everybody else would, get the test done. Early wipe fights are blast. They always have been, and then once I would get to a certain point, around level like 25, 30, 35, I would just stop tasking because I didn't want to keep doing them again. I just did them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I just did them a couple months ago. I did them a couple months ago, and then before that, I did them a couple months ago, right? But that used to be okay. Like, I would just do my shit, make a bunch of money, buy whatever I want, and go have fun.
Yeah.
But now, like, at level, like, I think this wipe before I stopped was, I was, like, level, like, 26, right? And I had, maybe even higher. I think it was, like, level 30. Maybe even, I don't know, maybe even higher than that. But regardless.
You were late 20s, early 30s because honestly at that point you were doing a lot of scavs even.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like,
but it was great content.
I did the early tasks. I got them out of the way. I mean, like I said, I was probably level 30, we'll say. So most of the early tasks are done. The early wipe is gone by level 30, right? And I had like 18 mil and couldn't fucking buy anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do the tasks anymore, which is my choice. Yeah, you could do the test, but like they locked everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like everything, like now you like to get this ammo, and like I get it, right? But like now I can't play my way. And like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and bitch about it. I just won't play. Right. I just choose not to play. But like I'm trying to do my thing. I have 20 mil. I can't spend whatever.
That's a good point.
I could buy like the cheapest ammo, and like the people who are playing nonstop and grinding, like I was level 30 running press armor. Like, that was never the case.
Yeah.
Right. And like that's fine if everyone else is.
Yeah.
But everyone else is running gazelles and Corins and stuff like that. And and my ammo is like Nerf gun. So like, and then it's no longer like fun. Like you're not even like, yeah, sure, hit him in the head. Like you could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like those longer battles, and that's not just a one tap, is what the adrenaline pump and fun was. And a lot of it now is just like, I'm hitting you with a Nerf gun and you're hitting me with a fucking cannonball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's just not a fun way to play. And that was my way of playing. That was fun in the past. So it was like that. And then a mix of them like locking things from trade, or like a flea market. I mean, like,
excluding it from the flea.
Scabbing and finding like a thermal
something
sight.
nuts. Yeah. or
Dude,
even
I'd be like,
or even when you
About to shit yourself.
when you were
dude, yeah.
you saw that
Yeah.
your like you check your scav page and you had a thermal, you're like, oh fuck, and,
yeah, you're like,
and then
I
you're
gotta get
nervous,
in
yeah,
and
gotta
out.
get
yeah, and like that fear to just go in, get out, and sell it was like, it was so scary. It gave you that risk that's like unmatched in any game.
exactly.
You know, you're like, I gotta get out. You don't know who's sitting where, who's hiding in a bush. You know, you're like this. You finally get out and you get that relieving. Oh my god, right?
Yeah.
So you get the excitement, then you get the stress, then you get the relief, and then you get the reward. You sell it
Yeah.
for like 1 million fucking rubles. You're like, thank you, baby. All that gone. All of it just
Yeah.
gone.
Dude, even from
You
the
know, you
even
find some expensive, you know, is millions on the market. You got to sell it for 20K at the
Yeah.
fucking dealer.
yep.
You know, like it took all of the reward out of it, which made the risk and headache not worth it anymore. To me.
Even from
You
the
know?
content side of it, like I remember one time it was like either my first or my second wipe, and I did a scav with Pool Shark, and my scav had a fucking FLIR on like a SV98 or some shit, and he team kills me and takes my shit, and like, you know, we fucking play it up for the stream, and like I get all outraged and shit, and like, but you can't do that anymore either, because it doesn't matter. Like having that high tier loot doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, even from the content point, it like kind of sucked all the air out of that balloon, you know.
And you make
It
a
took
good
the fun out of it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
took
it took
the
the
fun
fun.
out of it.
Yeah. You make a good point too, because it's like it's more catered towards the Chads now, but there's like a whole underworld of like casual,
Like normal players, yeah.
or normal people.
Yeah,
and
me.
you're the king of the casuals. Is what
Yeah,
it's.
I do it on camera, and I played it a lot, but I play games casually as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I play as much as like the no lifers go touch grass, but like I'm not playing it like that.
Yeah.
Right. So even me, I'm like, people are like, oh, the people who play nonstop, it's catered around them. I'm like, bitch, not me.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they add VoIP, and you're like, all right, my world's about to change. And then they're like, we're gonna lock everything behind every quest.
they introduced VoIP. I'm like, my life has changed, and it did.
Yeah.
It like changed my career.
really- yeah.
I was like, okay, when VoIP comes in, I'm gonna pop off. And
Yeah.
luckily, I was right.
Yeah.
And then they made the game not fun. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, at least I got a wipe out of it. But
Yeah.
like that was the thing. Like for a casual player, it gets worse and worse. But most casual players get like an hour after work.
Yeah.
I was doing this shit at that time like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know, way different than now, but still, I was putting in 40 hours a week as a casual for a
Yeah.
game that was punishing casuals.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this game hurts.
Yeah.
How do you
But now,
good?
okay, I would say, but now you've let go of Tarkov, and seems like it's working in your favor.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
far.
Leaving
So it's-
Tarkov is the best career choice I could have made. 100%.
How do you think like that, you know, when you said when you saw VoIP coming that you were like, oh, this is my shit, right? This is my time. How do you think that impacted like what you do now? Do you think that, like, you know, how did that guide your content now?
What experiencing VoIP or the initial excitement?
Like
about it?
essentially mastering VoIP, like those interactions and
yeah.
like learning how to create content around, like short content and stuff like that around it to capitalize on those kind of interactions. Has that kind of like helped you in your new, you know, your new stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a huge thing because you hear it a lot from creators that, you know, like, or people even like in the industry above, like, you got to find your niche. You're like, what the fuck is my niche?
Yeah.
You know, I'm funny. That's my niche.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how you think. But like, until you find it, sometimes you don't know what the hell it is. And when VoIP came out, I was like, hell yeah, like I'm a funny guy. If I could be funny with other people, that could be good content, I think. Right? It's always a guess. You know, you never know till you know. So you experiment with things. And yeah, like it started to pop off on Tarkov TikTok mostly. You know, and then the streams benefit because of that. But Tarkov TikTok was like, this is something different. Before VoIP, we were watching all the Chads.
Yeah.
Like, this is different.
Yeah.
And I like this. Right.
Yeah.
And it was like that for me and a couple other creators. Like my buddy Gibbon was in the same exact boat when it came with that kind of content. And like, and people like ate it up, you know, but, and when I was ready to move on from Tarkov and I was like done with it, going into other games, it did give me that kind of comfort. I was like, okay, well, I've tried other games before when Tarkov gets boring and white. Right. And like in past summers, it's like, okay, Tarkov got boring. I tried like PUBG. But what did I do in PUBG? I said funny things to chat, but how is that marketable to the off live community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, because everything else I was doing is I was just playing a game and saying funny things to chat, you know? But when this happened, I was like, okay, I know what I'm good at now. You know, yeah, I could say the funny stuff to chat, which is great for the live experience, but now I know how to leverage that stuff for offline edits. So I'm a little more comfortable leaving this game and trying other things. And essentially what I did is I applied that kind of comedy, that kind of content to a bunch of different games.
Right.
And I've said it before, when I left Tarkov, I played like 16 different games between February and March. Even like some were like a day at a time, maybe a couple hours. But like what I was doing is I was trying to have a good time talking to chat, but I was applying these things that I found worked a lot of the time from like the Tarkov interactions and VoIP and stuff. And then it just eventually, like my first video with DayZ, literally the first one on TikTok, ended up being one of my biggest TikToks.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, maybe it's a one-off.
Right.
And then I did another one and it had a couple 100K. And then I did another one, had a couple 100K. And I'm like, damn, this content works really well here. I learned it here, but maybe that wasn't the crowd.
Right.
And I tried other things. I'm like, not the crowd, not the crowd, not the crowd. Bingo. You know, and it was kind of eye-opening in that way, but very, very helpful. I mean, that was huge. Tarkov adding VoIP changed my career even outside of Tarkov. Yeah.
That's
and then
awesome.
Call of Duty, I think, was your first off Tarkov game that blew up, right? On TikTok, at least.
Yeah, it's funny. My TikTok is like, if you look at like, if you were to spread out my analytics on TikTok, it's a fucking mess.
Right.
Because I started streaming. It's funny. 3 years tomorrow.
Wow.
Tomorrow was my 3 years.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So I've been in this space 3 years. And my first
before you continue, I just want to mention how where you are in 3 years is fucking insane for not coming from like, you know, like one of these streaming platforms that has crazy algorithms. So like that is fucking insane what you've done in 3 years, bro.
Yeah, most people are 10 years in.
Yeah,
and like seeing this.
Usually this shit takes a while, bro. Like you're killing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that now. You know what I mean? It started like I said, meeting people and stuff and being like, dude, you only did this for 3 years. And I'm like, shit, maybe I am doing this kind of fast.
Yeah, dude.
You know? But you know how it goes in a creator's head. I'm like, bro, why am I slugging right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've had DMs like that.
Bro, always.
Yeah, like, bro, what is going on? And now I'm starting to be more like calm. Like right now I'm having a downtime, but I'm like, bro, like I'm killing it. Like even when it's down, like I'm doing good.
You're like, I only got 50K today. Out of
but
like okay.
Yeah, like my TikTok analytics are all over the place because the first 2.5 years up until February, it's gotta be what, 2.5 years, was all Tarkov, you know, and like I was consistent, I did everything right. I had one video ever hit 1 million. My whole content and community were Tarkov on stream and TikTok. One video ever hit 1 million, and it was my guy with a bug drinking mayo. That was it. You know, I put up a bunch of like what I thought was great Tarkov content. I still do, you know, but like that's when I realized maybe the crowd isn't there because I took that same exact content when Modern Warfare dropped. Now, you know, they have a huge player base, huge fan base. Yeah. I played Call of Duty for about a month, maybe a month and a half when Warzone dropped. Right away, I hit over 1 million views. Call of Duty was my first game to get multi-million. And I think I did it 7 times in a month.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, and it sucks because the game got boring. And like I was saying earlier, I need to have fun to make the best content. And I'm aware of that. I'm not going to milk something that I know I like, I'm like miserable with, especially after the whole Tarkov ordeal where I just dealt with it and mentally fucked myself, you know? Like, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, in like a month and a half of playing Warzone, I think I had like 6 or 7 videos get multi-million. Probably my 7 biggest videos, or at least 5 of my biggest videos are all Call of Duty, and I played it for a month.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Like I have one that I think hit 6 million, 5 million, 4 million, right? And and now it's all mostly DayZ. So my most content's Tarkov. My biggest content's Call of Duty in a short span, but my most consistent like high view content is DayZ. So it's all over the place. But that kind of stuff is cool because you get to really see it, because I've never gotten views per video like I did in Call of Duty in that month, but it didn't translate well. And that's a good thing to look at. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, I'm getting followers, I'm getting views on TikTok, but what does that mean for me? And like, if at anything, it was just a number to like brag about. You know what I mean? I got 6 million views, but it didn't.
Exactly.
It didn't bring over a community. It didn't do anything. I wasn't monetized on TikTok at the time, you know. But going over to DayZ, once that started picking up, that I've never seen a community in any game start to just bring people everywhere. Like they wanted to watch it live. They begging for YouTube videos, you know. It was just like, give me more.
Wow.
You know, so it's like kind of cool seeing each thing. Like, okay, I did this for a long time. People liked it, but it wasn't a lot of viewership. I did this. It was a lot of viewership, but they didn't care to see more. And that's like, now this is nice.
I mean, even
it tells you what it shows you what to look out for. You know what I mean?
and even like your YouTube videos, because like I watch everybody and I track them all. Like you were just scraping like 1,000 views for a little bit on YouTube, and now every VOD's hitting minimum 5K. 5 to 9K is your average on a VOD, which is insane for like realistically, you've been playing DayZ for not that long compared to what your viewers are. It's insane.
Yeah, I think like March is when I started. Yeah, it knows.
And even like which we've noticed with Fab too, like even on Call of Duty, he would get maybe not necessarily on the clips, but he was live streaming on TikTok when that was the thing on Warzone. And the views were high on the live streams, but they would maybe come in and follow, never see them again.
Yeah.
So it's Call of Duty is a weird thing where like the viewership's there, but they just don't care to be a community at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just eyeballs. It's fake eyes.
It's all churn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing but a number.
Yeah.
A lot of the times. And like, that's not like to put down Call of
Fugazi
Duty players, but there's just so many that a lot of them are eyes.
Right.
You know, like I said, like actual people, it's not putting down, oh, you're nothing but a number. You know what I mean? But a lot of them are, you know, a lot of them just are like, what is this? I play this game. Okay, gone, right?
Yeah.
Or this is funny. This is a funny one-off. How many videos do you see on something you like, right? Like whatever topic you like. We like beer, for example, right?
Yep.
What if I see a funny Miller Lite video? I send it to you. A lot of people send it to their friends. Will we remember who the hell that was?
Right.
Nope.
No. And that's what Call of Duty is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people like beer. A lot of people like Call of Duty. You see something funny, you share the hell out of it, goes viral. But what does it do? Me and you aren't going to go follow the guy who had a funny Miller Lite video. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I might, but you know, like, but it's just in general for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Dude, who was that guy?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, because it's so like, there's so many people. There are some that would, but most are just like funny. Look at this, move on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how Call of Duty felt, because mine was actually the opposite. My viewer numbers on Call of Duty were in the shitter. I think I was playing like at that point when I switched over like maybe 150 on Tarkov, and I was playing to 60 in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when
offline
multiplayer stuff. Yeah.
You know, on TikTok I was getting more, like just like nonstop millions. You know, but it was the opposite elsewhere. So it was really weird. It was really, but it was, like I said, a good thing to go through. So you kind of like, now I have that mindset that I just expressed. You know, I didn't think that way before. But you're like, okay, like looking at
What's
this,
the balance?
looking at that. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a huge call out. What you mentioned about like identifying like burnout that you had with Tarkov and burnout that you had super quick with COD, and like being able to identify, okay, this is what I can bring. Let me see what games it works with, and then like you fucking hit the jackpot with DayZ, right? I think a lot of creators get stuck in that like, I'm gonna fucking just grind this shit out until the wheels fall off mindset, and I feel like that's super unhealthy, and I feel like it's detrimental to like long-term success. You know what I mean? So I think you kind of crack that code with that mindset. You know what I mean? It's very rare.
So you know, a lot of this space is hard work. You know, the people who are going to succeed are good at what they're doing. You know, figure out what they're good at, creative, whatever. But there's always that little aspect of luck, right? And I was very fortunate to find a game that I could escape to. I mean, I tried 16 of them.
Yeah.
But I busted my ass trying to get 16 in a short amount of time. But I was fortunate to find one that worked. So there was that kind of like luck of the draw, like, okay, this one works. But I wish more people would step away.
Yeah.
But I understand that it's scary. For me, I was like, I had to. And I was at the point where I wasn't doing anything crazy, like rev-wise, you know, but like I was good enough to where I was like, okay, if I step away for a few weeks, a month, like it would be a struggle, but I'd be okay. Right. And then luckily it started to hit off on DayZ, and I was like, bet. But if it didn't, I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
You know, I would have kept trying until the well went dry, and then I'd be stuck back. And like, I know some people deal with that, although I don't think enough people set themselves up for that. You know, and there's a lot of creators that are my friends that I've talked to, and like, I'll see them like switch games, you know, and then they'll post like one short in that game, maybe one long form, and then they're like, shit, my viewership's in the dumps. I got to go back.
Yep.
And you're like, obviously it's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
I get it, because there's like that panic, like, I didn't make money today, so I have to go back tomorrow. You know, instead of giving yourself that time, yeah, you're going to have to save up a little bit. Yeah, you're going to have to do a little extra work here, a little extra work there to put that in the bank to go somewhere else. It does take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just jump ship. Like, I get that. But like,
I also
think
I also think the key is, like, you know, you had a very specific strategy when you switched off of Tarkov, right? Like,
you're very calculated.
You were very specific in, like, okay, I'm gonna like hang my hat on this VoIP stuff and creating funny interactions, and then you just tried that same strategy in, you said 16 different games, which is fucking crazy, and then you hit the jackpot, right? Like you found your game, but I think, to your point, a lot of creators will just try to move to a different game without having any intention behind it. They're just like, oh, this game seems popular, let me just go play that, without, you know, bringing something to that with from a strategy standpoint. And I think that's like probably what the biggest issue is, you know.
It is, yeah.
It's
huge. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
I want to add to that.
What Grant's gonna say, and then I'm gonna hit on that.
Do you, since you're the anomaly here, realistically, and since it's worked for you, let me know if I'm right or wrong. I feel like you also, if you change games, you have to almost like do double the work for it to work, because everyone's used to what you're already doing. So you have to almost grind even harder to get a new audience and let your old audience be interceptive of what you're changing to, if that makes sense.
I don't want to say effort wise, but thought wise, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because especially if you're already putting in a ton of effort on the original one, like, you can't create more time like that, you know?
Yeah.
So you're putting in the same time, but you maybe, like, do it differently, you know? And it is weird. It is weird changing things. It's a whole total shift. It's something new. It's something unknown. Like, and like, if you're at a certain point of your career or hobby, whatever you see your content as, yeah, it's scary as hell, you know? But like Fab said, a lot of people, they don't have a plan, you know? And that's part of it. It kind of intertwines with what I was saying is people, and I've seen it with a bunch of friends, like we'll use Tarkov for an example, because that's where most of my community was. That's where most of my friends came from in the streaming world. And they'll try something like Valorant, right? But like, aside from I shoot man, you know, I shoot guy, what is the same thing you're bringing from one to the other? Not saying that can't be a switch, but if all you're doing is, you know, you're used to Tarkov, you're good at Tarkov, and then you go to a game where you're just shooting other people and you have nothing else to offer or no plan to kind of bridge the audience, why are people going to watch? Right? And sure, you can make a new community, and that's also a viable option. You don't have to retain the same people. I fully believe that, but you got to give it time and work. So what people do is they'll go from like Tarkov, where they're good, they know everything, they're a resource for viewers, you know, like people can come ask questions because they're so knowledgeable in Tarkov, and that's a valid reason for people to watch. And then they'll switch to something, and once again, like I'll use an example like Valorant or CS:GO, where they're just like, maybe they're having fun and they're probably good at the game, right? I'm sure they're good at the game, but you're no longer giving them that resource that they want in the game they like. You know, if you're going for that like Chad type gameplay, are you the best? Probably not. You know, so who are they going to watch? If they're into that, if they're into the highlights of that, they're going to watch the best.
Yeah.
So you just lost your resource there. Like, they're going to watch people who are better at doing what you are doing now, you know, somewhere new where you're like essentially a nobody in that scene, right? Without like adapting and like bringing over what works, or even figuring out ahead of time what works for you and your community. And so you have to build a new community, but that takes time, and a lot of people are willing to jump ship super early.
Yep.
You know, so they don't have the thing to bridge their other viewers on, and then they go to the new game that they should build a new community on, and after 2-3 days, like, my viewership's down, I got to go back. They're not giving it time to start the new community. but they're not giving the old community any bridge to the new game. You know what I mean? And like that combination of what you said and what I said is what I see almost everybody doing, you know, and it's going to bring you right back to where you're at.
Yep.
Dude, you hit the fucking nail on the head. I feel like you were like talking directly into my soul, right? Like, cause
I wasn't going to say that, but I wanted to bring some points up.
I didn't like, I try not to like talk about my shit during these podcasts, especially when we have a guest, but like, it's so on point. Like as I was transitioning from game to game, that same exact mindset where I was just like, oh, I'm having fun and I'm very good at the game, but I'm not the best. Yeah. I was just like, I probably reset my community 6 times in my career from different games. So like 100%, I never identified like, okay, what can I bring to the table for entertainment value? How do I bridge that gap to my old community and move them to a new game and then give it time for that to bake? Like, I personally never implemented that strategy for sure. And there's, like you said, there's probably hundreds of creators in the same boat that just like
millions.
never
millions, literally, 100%. Probably millions.
Absolutely. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head, brother, with that.
And that's the thing. And like, it's not something to have like for anyone to have shame in, but it's something good to hear, you know, and be like, maybe I should think like this or try like something like this and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of people did it. And like I said, the first couple times I changed games when I was bored of Tarkov, I was the same way.
Yeah.
But because I didn't learn it. I didn't figure that out yet. Mm-hmm. But finding the niche was kind of important in that. And everything develops, you know, everything evolves. Now my approach to changing a game is going to be completely different than what I just explained. What I just explained is where I was at that point.
Right.
You know, changing games now is a completely different fucking animal because of where my mind went in certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back to but at the core, when you're stuck in one game, you feel like, you know, especially if you're making your stream your main and only income, it's going to be really hard. And it was, because that's the position I was in at the time. But I mean, you gotta just it's planning. It's a business. You know, if you're doing it as a hobby, cool, make your side money. If you're doing it as a career, it's your business. You know what I mean? And run it like one.
Yeah.
You know, businesses change. You know, Sony's not selling the same shit they sold in the 80s. You know, did it work in the 80s? Fuck yeah. They're Sony. Right? Will it work today? No, they changed. You know, because they're a fucking business.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, it sounds like I'm being aggressive about it, but like, to me, it's just like,
well, in your brain, your brain, that gear's already clicked for you, right? So it's like normal. That's thought. Like a normal thought process for you. Exactly. When like you know, it took me a while to kind of hear that and understand that, right? Like I was talking to Grant about it the other day, and I'm like, my mindset is in the right space for content right now. Like I played Tarkov on Thursday, and that's probably the best content I've made in 2 years. But I don't have the drive anymore to do, you know, I don't have the drive to put that out on a consistent basis. I just kind of want to do it whenever the fuck I want now, right?
You must have been here almost a decade.
Acknowledge that.
Yeah, and like I don't
adapt to
you know,
that.
Yeah, so like I don't necessarily have the time or like the drive to do it as much anymore. Now I just want to fucking hop on and put the best shit out when I can, you know what I mean? So yeah, like those dots had to align. They aligned a little late, I guess is what I'm like. I figured it out a little late. I mean, you know, I'm not saying it's like who knows what the fuck is in the future, but like for right now,
subjective.
Yeah, exactly. But right now I'm chilling, and I just like I kind of just rock whenever I want to, I guess, you know. Yeah.
No, but that's a win. Like that's a W, because dude, all of this is a fucking mental thing.
Yeah,
all of it. You know what I mean? Like, no, okay, there's some like natural things. Like,
I've never been more mentally drained than in this space.
Me too.
It's probably I would say it's the biggest challenge. I would say like yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't trade this for anything, and I've said that plenty of times. Like, I wouldn't want to do anything else for work, right? And like, you know, on the people who don't understand being a creator, it's like, oh, you get to play games, right? Like, you do get to play games too. You know, it's part of it. And fuck yeah, I love doing it. I love doing that part, right?
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, this is the most I've ever worked, and it's the most mentally destroying job I've ever had. but like it's weird. Like I don't want to. I'd rather fucking do this. You
Yeah.
know, like it's,
You have to be a little bit of a masochist. I feel like
Yeah.
to fucking be able
Well,
to do this shit consistently for a long time.
You had to have a little bit of an ego, right? And
Definitely
even me,
that.
like someone like I'm no one, but like I do stuff behind the scenes, and even for me, like I don't care how much money there is. There's something like that's internally satisfying about this space that like I don't. If you're not in it, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the people I meet, the people you talk to, it's different than like having a hard labor job because it's just different. I don't know. I can't even really explain it.
you make your own fucking money. Nobody tells you
Yeah.
what you gotta make. You say I want to work harder, you get more money.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck working for somebody else.
Well,
I would get told at my old job, I would get told that I was better than the person before me, and they pay me less because I didn't have a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm doing this. They were like, we're paying you the less. Oh my God, like you're killing this guy would have took 2 weeks. You did it in 3 days. I'm like, yeah, because I'm fucking hard worker.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
But
yeah.
like, I'm getting paid thousands less because I didn't have a degree. But I'm in a position that needs a degree. You know, and they take advantage. Like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna work better, faster, harder. I'm gonna figure out ways to do it. I better make more fucking money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like doing this, you can. You know, so like that's like where that like was it dopamine or whatever?
Yeah.
comes
Oh, yeah,
from.
Like
yeah.
self-satisfaction,
Yeah.
dopamine.
And it's instant.
Yeah.
You know, like it takes time to get to the point, but like once you start to like grow and stuff, like some of that is very instant dopamine. Like I wake up every morning at like 8:50 a.m. Right? I sleep in a little bit compared to I used to wake up at 5 a.m. 8:50 a.m. I wake up, I lay in bed, I scroll through my thing to see what TikTok I want to post. Right? I post it. I'll lay in bed for another fucking hour if I can, and I'll answer comments. Right? But
Yeah.
after that hour, I'm like, I just made blah 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 dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Instant
just
gratification,
posted,
yeah.
so you get that instant dopamine. You're like, oh, and like you get it in your head eventually after watching like trends and analytics of your own stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this got this many views by 20 minutes. I'm about to make blah
A
blah blah.
banger,
Right?
yeah.
Like this is a good one, you
Yeah.
know. And you get that like dopamine rush, and you get it every day. The moment you wake up, you're like, boom, this is the work's already done. Boom, you know, just like
Yep.
let's go, you know. So there's no dopamine rush in any job I've ever had like this.
The flip side of that coin, though, is like what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Is like also the mental toll that take. Like, what if you post and then it doesn't do well? You're like, fuck. Like, you're already
we
like
mentioned that we talked about this earlier.
you already start the day.
Funny, it was this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already
But,
start the
like-
fucking day in the dumps. You know what I mean? Like, and that's part of it, right? That's the flip side of that coin.
It is part of it, but like that's why I say this is a mental industry, like a big time mental industry, is because like you got to trust yourself, and especially when you figure out like what you like to do, what's fun for your community, like your niche. You know what I mean? You have to kind of trust that.
Yeah.
And like this morning was a kind of example. I posted a video and I know what I'm usually at 10 minutes. You know, when it comes to comments, shares, likes, whatever. On we'll say TikTok because that's what I post at 9 a.m. Like I know where I should be, and then at 20 minutes I know where I should be, and then at 30 minutes I'm like, okay, this is trending this way or this way, you know, whatever. And like for me, I'll give specific numbers just for this example. By 8 minutes, it's 8 minutes. I should have anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 views on a video in 8 minutes. Today my video had 600 views in an hour. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? I was like, this is a good, like, I know this video is good.
Yeah.
Right. So I straight up uploaded a second one without deleting the first one. I uploaded it again. And in the first 8 minutes, it had 1,800 views. I was like, that's better. And then I deleted the other one because like I trusted it. You know what I mean? I was like, something fucked up on their end. This ain't me.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like some people will like let it simmer. You know what I mean? And I used to too. And I'm sure you did at some point. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with my video?
Yeah.
But once you start to trust yourself and trust numbers that you're used to and run, you know, look at patterns, look at analytics of yourself. And you're like, okay, no, like I should be getting this. Even if it's a bad video, it should be this, but I know this is a good video. It should be here. And if it's not, okay, maybe it's not me. Let's try something different.
Yeah.
You know, take it down, different post time, take it down, change caption or thumbnail. Cause I know this is good. I know where I should be. this is better than a bad video, and it's not even hitting those numbers, you know?
Yeah.
It's all, dude, it's so much fucking mental shit here.
Yeah. I think that mindset is unique, though. I don't think that that's like common or standard practice in content creation. Cause like, you know what I mean? I feel like you're a unicorn. I feel like you're a unicorn in that sense, honestly. Like there's probably I would say most successful creators probably share the same, like especially very successful creators probably share the same mindset. But like for me personally, if I'm like, oh, that video's cooked. Like it's just not, you know, I've never thought about like, oh, what is it supposed to be at this time? Should I re-upload it? Never any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's specific to like, I don't know. I feel like that's unique. You know what I mean? I don't think that's.
I would
standard.
say I think it's more generational type creator, right? Because like you're what,
dude,
almost a
decade.
decade.
Stop
in?
saying that I'm fucking old, bro. Can you really?
No,
like,
it's funny because
it's the type of age
bro,
you
stop
start
fucking
creating.
calling me old. All this whole fucking podcast,
now,
bro.
As much as it hurts me to say, Grant kind of might be onto something right now.
This is bullshit.
Not necessarily the age, but like the era.
The era you join creating.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because when it was a smaller space, and I'm ignorant as shit to this, so half the shit I might say could be completely wrong.
Sure.
Right, and I'm aware, you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna fucking say it because I have a mouth. But like, it seems like years ago, you know, people would create and people who stuck with it generally did well, you know, because there was so much less in the space, it was so much less competitive. And that is a lot of the reason when things change, sometimes people struggle to refigure it out because they want this the thing that worked years ago when they didn't have the same competition, same, you know, like environment to work now without adapting too much, right? And now I do think that plays a part, you know. And another thing is, at the same time of timing, era, whatever's going on at the time, is mindset when going in. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people who join like as a hobby and things start to do well, they're smart enough to like a lot of them will like sit there and they'll figure it out. You know, okay, this is going well. I love doing this. How can I make it a business? You know, so you'll take some of them will do well, some of them won't. You know, some of them will flop out, some of them will take it as a business. So a lot of the mindset going in and like at certain pathways of your career are vital as well. You know, for me, I went into this to be a career. You know, I'm like, oh, I'll just do it on the side for fun. I was like, I don't want to work my job anymore. I'm good at videos. You know, I'm good at graphic design. I play video games. I'm funny. Let's make this happen. Let's make it as much fucking money as I can. Like, that's how I went in.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, like, that's part of probably why I think about this shit, because it was desperation. Quit my full-time job.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to figure this out.
Right.
You know, I have to run this like a business immediately, or I have to go back somewhere where I don't want to go.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's when like all the analytics stuff right away. There was no like hobby to, oh shit, I should treat this like a business. Oh, I wonder if I could do this longer. And then like I said, some people kill it like that. You know, I know many creators who started as a hobby and it started to pick up and they adapted and they were like, okay, now they have teams and shit. You know, like they killed it. But that mindset has to happen at some point. Yeah. You know, sometimes it happens right away. So like I've been streaming for 3 years, but I'm thinking that as a business for 3 years.
Right.
You know, so some people might stream for 8 years and not think about it as a business until 5 years in. You know, and I think that makes a difference. I could be ignorant to that fact. You know what I mean? But like,
well, I mean, it definitely made a difference.
Good to me.
Yeah, I mean, it made a difference for my mindset for sure. Because I really wasn't in the, I wasn't in a mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to adapt to all this new stuff. Like, I didn't want to.
How long did it take you to get there?
To what?
To get to the point where you were like, okay, let me treat this like a business for
5 years.
Run it full time. Okay, 5 years.
Yeah.
How much more did you know about streaming in 5 years than when you started?
Yeah, I mean,
fuck ton.
Yeah, 100%.
Now imagine starting and having that business mindset already.
Dude,
you know what I mean? Shit just moves faster.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but like that, like a lot of people don't see it like that right away, and that's fine, right? That's normal. If anything, I don't want anybody to fucking do what I did.
Yeah, that's scary shit, bro.
Yeah,
you're jumping off the ledge like that's scary.
No, I've said it on multiple articles, podcasts, whatever. Anyone who brings up like the start of my streaming thing, do not fucking do what I did. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I'm very like, I worked hard. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, that it happened to get to like a certain point where I could kind of like have a little leniency with things, but no, that just goes back to mindset, the way you think about things, you know, what you're looking for, your goals and stuff like that really has an impact on the way things go, how fast they go, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So even with the
go ahead.
or go ahead. Okay. I was gonna say, even with what I said with generational like creator type, honestly, Ash, even in your generation, because you kind of don't take this the wrong way, you came up in the COVID generation of creators, right? And even
Yeah, kind of.
per se, but even those, like, there's a split between those type of creators where like things started leveling out. Everyone typically was doing okay, to where like when things started to more level out, viewership started to fall off a little bit. A lot of people just kept doing the same thing, and it just kept going downhill for them because nothing changed. Where I feel like people like you and you yourself, you set back and hunkered down and figured out what actually works for when I guess the viewership dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, the only issue with your theory here is I started after COVID stuff.
Okay.
So
Well, I don't know exactly.
No, I know, but it's not a shot at you. I'm just saying, like, mentality wise, like I
Yeah.
never started with an instant boost and then died down.
Yeah.
Like I started later like August 2020, so everyone was already back at work. You know, like sure there was that COVID boom, and it was still probably part of what made part of what made streaming like lots of money for big streamers, but they were already at that point. So even if it tapered into late 2020 into early 2021, like those people were getting bank still probably.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but like the people just starting like didn't, you know, nobody
Yeah,
knew who
yeah.
I was. So if there was a bunch of money being thrown, it wasn't at me. You know,
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah, you
there
said
was a
that.
bunch, there was a bunch more streamers streaming at the time, I'm sure too, because everyone was locked at home.
Yep.
So it was definitely tough. So I'm fortunate. Once again, I use that word again, but I'm fortunate to the point where I didn't have like a burst right away and fall off and have to deal with that, because I don't know how I would have reacted. I want to think I could overcome it, but maybe I couldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I wasn't in that position. Luckily, I waited long enough.
Yeah.
To start, but that wasn't tactical. That just happened that way. You know, and
Right.
some things. That's why I say luck.
Timing.
You
Yeah.
work your ass off and stuff, but like timing is huge luck. You know,
Yep.
starting when you do a lot of the time, it's just it just happened to work out.
Yeah. I also think, like, you know, we've touched about how different your strategy and your approach is, right, for the content that you put out, whether it's live format or short form and stuff like that. You take more of like a less is more approach, right? With you're not implementing, like, you're not streaming 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. You know, like that was the mindset. Like that's how you had to. When I started streaming, that's how you made it, bro. You streamed 12 hours a day. So you eat, you sleep, you work, and then you stream, and that's your life. Like that's it for a year. And that's how I found my like foothold, right? But you've taken a different approach, I think, especially as of late. Can you talk about that a little bit, and like what that strategy, or like where it came from, what that looks like, and like, you know, how impactful it's been for you?
Yeah. Now I don't know. The conversation kind of starts with your mindset and a lot of other streamers' mindset, where like the grind worked. You know, maybe you saw streamers before it, and that's what was working for them, and it worked at the time. Especially when everybody was at home, the more you're online, the more you're going to make money. You know, when we're all locked in our house, that makes a lot of sense. One thing that helped me is I didn't watch streamers before I started, so I didn't know what to base it off of. Sure, I thought more I'm on camera, you know, more I'm on camera, more money I make. Blah blah blah. I can you know, be comfortable at home and pay my bills, whatever. The more I'm live, so I started 40 hours a week right out the gate, 8 hours a day. But like I thought you had to, you know, but because I didn't watch other people, there was no like track record of that. Now in your case, yeah, you probably saw it firsthand, number one, with you, but you saw other people excelling with that,
Right.
you know. So even though I thought that's what you had to do, I didn't have track records of people. So it was easier to kind of move away, I guess, because I wasn't like, well, he did it, you know, when other people, and like, that's normal human thought. You're like, well, these guys all streamed 12 hours a day and killed it. Like, yeah, that's going to play a part. I just happen to not know that, you know, so that could have been beneficial in a way. But for me, sometimes it just takes someone to give you that validation, and it takes someone or people or some event to occur to kind of change your mindset on things. And about a year and a half into me streaming, I became actively talking to like Stone Mountain and Snoopy, if you know them.
Yeah.
And Snoop,
Mhm.
and I got a lot
Pipeline
of
guys?
good. Yeah, and I got a lot of good advice from everyone involved in their company and stuff. And for some reason, one thing, I had like a mentor I met with every Friday, Sloth, who was super cool, and he kind of mentioned that he talked to Snoop, and they kind of had this idea that I should stream less. And I was like, that sounds silly. And then Snoop said it directly to my, I say it to my face, but in a video call, he's like, dude, like you especially have to stream less, kind of thing. Focus on everything else. And he was like, I think you should go from 8 hours a day to 5 hours a day. And I was like, fuck no, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I switched to 6. That's how I started. I switched to 6. But and then the same conversation, he goes, hell, I would even like to see you at 3 hours a day. And
Wow.
he's like, because the thing is, like, he's like, with the kind of stuff you put out, and this was before I found success. So this was super validating at the time.
Right.
This was just based off live stuff. I wasn't known on TikTok yet. You know, my YouTube wasn't doing good yet. It was just all live stuff. He was like, based on the stuff I saw, he's like, when people are afraid to stop streaming a certain amount of times because they'll get what they give somewhere else. And Snoop was pretty much like, if you stream 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day, like there's no alternative to Ash. They're like, he was like, people aren't going to be able to leave what you're doing to see it somewhere else because nobody's doing it like that. You know, and like that was kind of eye opening. I thought it was crazy, you know, and I was like, fuck no, I'm not going to 5 hours a day, you know, especially not 3. So I switched to 6, and then I switched to 6 and my revenue didn't go down. And I was like, huh? It's like, you know, and like with that time, naturally, it wasn't even like I had to put it in action. Naturally, it was just like, okay, now that I have this extra time, let's put a little extra time into YouTube or TikTok, whatever, you know. And TikTok started doing better. And I was like, okay, my revenue didn't fall off after 6. You know, what if I had more time to do TikTok and YouTube? So I dropped it to 5, and I did 5 Monday to Friday. And same thing. And it's, in fact, revenue started going up because I had that extra time to work on other platforms.
Yeah.
You know, that was bringing people in, that was helping me pay my bills more. You know, I was like, okay, what if I had even more time once a week and I dropped my Fridays to 3 hours? You know, so I had 5 hours Monday through Thursday, 3 hours on Friday. Gave me more time to edit everywhere else, right? And then editing everywhere else brought a traffic towards here, which meant more revenue in less time. And then recently, as of a month ago, I cut my Fridays out completely.
Wow.
You know, and I made a Friday my day from hell, you know, which sucks and I hate it, but I love it at the same time because now I'm not battling each night trying to edit for the next day. I will wake up Friday morning and edit until I go to bed at night with that extra time.
Damn.
You know, any like follow over, I'll get done Saturday morning, and then now I have my Saturdays back, Sundays back. That used to be all editing, you know, and I have my weekdays back. I couldn't do this, what we're doing right now, a month ago. I would have to tell you no.
Yeah.
Because I had
Right.
to edit for tomorrow's TikTok, right? So like sometimes it takes somebody to change your mindset, you know, to make you realize and like what maybe you have, but at the same time, what you could do with your time better than streaming. And this is a hot topic you see people say, and people don't fucking listen. I don't think personally streaming's the future, live stuff's the future. I think there will always be a place for it. I think the success is everywhere else. You know, there's a huge benefit to streaming, especially with your community, and that'll be hard to ever get rid of. You know, you love to talk to them and stuff like that, but that should not be your main focus on income. You know, that should not be like your main focus on content. Sure, you record it there, but that's not what you should rely on. And I realize that because of people telling me, you know, and sometimes you just got to fucking listen.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of people get told a lot of things. I tell people this same shit and they just don't apply it. They just don't fucking like they'll hear me, but they're not listening.
Right.
You know, and like sometimes you just like I even said, like when Snoopy said it, I messaged him recently. I was like, when you told me that, I thought you were fucking nuts. You know, and he was laughing. I was like, dude, I did, but I was like, you know what? He knows better than I fucking do. You know, so I was like, let me give it a shot. And I'm like, damn, this works. You know, so now I'm down to 20 hours a week and I can't wait to go less. You know, and I like streaming. Yeah, like I can't
That's
wait
crazy.
till I'm doing 3 hours a day, you know, for 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then put everything everywhere else until you get to the point where you can like kind of outsource stuff. Then you're only streaming 12 hours a week and then the rest is outsourced. You know, so it's like a building blocks thing, but It all starts with that mental switch that I like it is tough, especially early on. Like it snowballs. You know what I mean? Like I was talking about switching games earlier. Like now I'm at the point where I work to where I had the mindset hearing from other people and that kind of click and that live stream probably shouldn't be your main income. And that made sense to me, you know, because it puts you in that like, oh, I got to keep streaming or I won't be able to live.
Right.
You know, so you take that L for a little bit. It is hard. You do suffer a little bit. But once you get past that, now for me personally, Twitch is no longer my highest income anymore from content, which is a good thing because now your approach changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if I want to switch games again, I'm good.
Yeah.
In my eyes, for the most part. I mean, if things get shaky, well, yeah, you kind of have to reassess as you go. But like
it's not like a huge priority. Your live content's not a huge priority anymore. Like to a certain extent.
Revenue.
You're right.
Like, yeah, like it's important. Like without it, I'd be living a little different.
Right.
Like maybe much different, but like I'd still be able to survive.
Right.
But like it took a lot of mental, like, okay, let's do this, and this. How do we do this the right way? What's the right way for me? Blah, blah, blah. How do I optimize my time? Blah, blah, blah. But to the point where it's not like when I switched off Tarkov, it was like, fuck, hopefully I have enough money to hold me over till I find something. You know, to where it's like, okay, my short form, it doesn't matter what game I play because I found my niche there. You know, other platforms aren't as game addictive as Twitch is, in my opinion, from my experience.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. My experience only is all I can speak off of. You know, like people who watch me play DayZ on Twitch, if I switch games, some will still watch, but a lot of other people be like, when's DayZ coming back? Right. You know, on TikTok, they're like, I fucking love everything you throw at me. So like, I know I'll make my rev there.
Yeah.
You know, like I posted a video of Outlast. I played the horror game Outlast one day.
Yep.
I got a 1 million view video. That's revenue, right? Like that kind of shit, once you get it going somewhere else, gives you the freedom to do things differently in like the streaming world. That's why I say, like, I couldn't give this advice to somebody who's switching at a different point right now. I can only give advice to where I was at that point.
Right.
Because things change and you approach things differently. But dude, it's so much mental shit until you get to a certain point where you're like, okay, now I can try this because I'm okay there. It will hurt here, but I think it'll balance out, you know. And if it starts not to balance, then you can reassess later. But or just go back to what you were doing for a little bit till you have more time to think about it, kind of things. But yeah, man, just less is more when it comes to that shit because you get that freedom.
Yeah.
How many people do you know are afraid to leave Tarkov because of their revenue? All of them.
How much time?
90%.
How much time you got?
All of them.
Yeah. 90%.
Exactly. So if you put if you put your stuff somewhere else, where like for me, my personal goal is I want Twitch to be my least profitable thing. You know, so like Twitch will be used, or whatever streaming service is around in 5-10 years, whatever. If I'm still live streaming at that point, is like I want this to be the time for community to interact with me and get some recorded footage.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's 3 days a week, and hell, maybe I'll game an hour off stream, you know, to get footage.
Yeah.
This way I can focus more on talking to the community there. That's the priority there, is the main goal. And then money everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, but because you're getting paid there, it gives you freedom to do whatever you want here. I don't want to do this today. We'll do this instead, and we'll play what you want another day, you know, but let's just chat. You know, if people want to chat, they love it, and I love it. You know, it's that connection that you can't get. I don't get that on, like, TikTok's my biggest platform. I don't get that fucking like loving connection.
Right.
Like in any direction, you know, like I appreciate it, but I don't have a bond with the TikTok crowd, and they don't have a bond. They might love my videos, but they don't know me like Twitch chat knows me. You know what I mean? So like, depends like what you're prioritizing on. And I think that putting work everywhere else and limiting your stream, and I've told mutual friends this. I was like, bro, fucking stream less, please. Like, I wouldn't tell you this if like I thought it was bad. Like, I don't want you to lose money. I want you to get money.
Right.
So you can do this longer. And sure, it's not all about, you know, all about making money. Like we love doing this.
It's a business at the end of the day. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You have to have a passion for entertaining and love doing this to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's a business at the end of the day, and you want to live your life as well. You know, for me right now, I'm surprised I have time for this. I'm happy I am because I optimized recently.
So are we.
But usually I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you want to get to the point, like, let's put effort here, and here. So this could be kind of passive. It'll allow me to take a night off to do this, with friends and hang out and talk and stuff like that, to do something later kind of thing. Like it's just so mental, You gotta think about it early. Well, I guess not early. You can think about it at any time, but you gotta kind of like when you think about it, commit to it.
Yeah.
And like it does get easier. You know what I mean? And like just people don't give it long enough of a chance or enough thought.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
beautifully
super
said.
insightful, bro. Yeah, I think
Beautifully
I
said.
really appreciate that like insight into your brain and your strategy. You still got a few more minutes, or do we need to kind of wrap up soon?
If you need me, I got a couple more minutes.
I guess we'll just like I got like a few more. The kind of now that you have your foothold, right? Like you're kind of set. You have your strategy, your rhythm in place, and you're kind of set right now. What are some of your like aspirations now? Like what are you going after? What is on the horizon for Ash?
Well, it's I kind of break it up different ways. You know what I mean? Like, cause as much as things are going well, like, subjectively, and I can, at the point where I'm at now, I have a little freedoms in some things. Like I just explained, like I'm still in panic mode, a lot of the time, even though I have somewhat of a plan, somewhat of a structure. I know what to do here, but it's all in any spot you're in, unless you have like a team that already knows, I guess. Like I'm trying to figure shit out as I'm going too. I'm like, okay, this worked. Let me try to help people with this, but like what's past this point? I don't know. I'm not there yet. So like I'm still in panic mode. I'm stressed out all the fucking time, but
Got gray hairs yet?
Yes, I do. Along here a little bit. I can't wait to go gray, but I love that shit. But yeah, like my goals right now is I have a lot of things behind the scenes that I just want to wrap up, and that is the most stressful shit. It's good things, which is great, but anxiety and stuff, like things being worked out. I have something hopefully I can announce in the next couple weeks, but that's been going on for a month. I have a pretty hefty rebrand coming early next month.
Nice.
But there's some work in order for me to save some money a little bit. I was like, all right, you handle the bulk of this stuff that I can't physically do, like, because I don't have the skills that you have, and I'll do this other stuff. So I gotta wait for that to come back, and like then I have work to do. So like that's got anxiety written all over it.
Sure.
So like a short-term goal is kind of wrap all this stuff up, have the rebrand that'll be still me, but a lot more brand friendly. People aren't offended by pictures of like devil horns and stuff,
Yeah.
like, and like I don't have to agree with it kind of thing, because like I'm not the big brands, and sometimes you got to take that into consideration. So that's kind of the short-term goals. Wrap up a couple of these behind the scenes things I have, put me in a better spot for the future, for branding and stuff like that. And then like down the line, I don't know, it's kind of open. Like I have like these little corny like things that I would love to see. Like I want to throw the first pitch at a Phillies game.
Okay.
Like I would love to do that at some point. So like that's one of my like goals in the next few years, hopefully, and stuff like that. But I don't know if I would really put something on it, is I can't wait to be at the point where I can feel more free to give myself time, and be able to outsource things and still give the same quality of stuff that people expect, and puts a smile on their face, but be able to like relax and hang out with my wife more and do stuff like that is kind of my goals right now. And I kind of took a step in that direction this year, where I didn't set any set any metrics based goals. Last year I was like, I want to hit blah 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 on Twitch.
Yeah.
I want to hit blah blah blah. I didn't do that this year. Like my kind of goals were like loosely like I want to have more time. And like and over time you start to optimize and see what works, and get advice on what could work and stuff like that. So that was like this year's goal, and you have like little metrics in your head that you hope to hit, and like if you hit them, cool. But I just want more fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the mid to long range goal, minus like the fun stuff. Like how cool would it be to have like a Miller Lite sponsorship? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Right.
That's like a long term, like that'd be cool. You know, throwing a pitch at a Phillies game, that'd be cool. So it's like I have stuff like that, which are goofy, but they're high reaching. Like that, not everybody gets that. So
how do you get to the side quest?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I just want to, I started this as a business 100%. Didn't start it like getting games started as a hobby, but getting into streaming 100% for me started as a business. You know, at first I was like, I don't even have to be the best. Like if I'm just better than blah, blah, blah percent, I'll make enough to make what I'm making right now. You know, and then it became to the point now, like I realized that last year even when I wasn't like where I'm at now, I was like, all right, now I want to be one of the biggest out there.
Nice.
You know,
that competitive. You said you had that competitive dog in you, right? You know what I mean?
So, dude, well, don't get me wrong. I want all my friends to do super well. You know, I love that, but I want to fucking beat everybody.
Oh, sure, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I'll help everybody along the way, but I just want to get there. So, that's a very vague goal, but I'm at the point where just like. I have to, or else I feel like I know I'll still appreciate what I did accomplish along the way, but like I realized once I set my goals on something, I'll fucking bust my ass until I get there. So if I want to be one of the best, I'm going to bust my ass till I am.
Love that. Love that.
They say reach for the stars, land on the moon. So
there you go.
I'll take the moon.
Right. Pretty up there.
Little Ash logo on the moon. What's up?
I'll take it.
I think we're good, man. I gotta ask you, how you feeling about the Eagles this year? How we feeling?
You already know.
How we feeling?
We're going back.
Yeah, going back. Running that back.
You kidding me? Dude, we're arguably a better team than we were last year.
I think so. I didn't see it coming, but I see it. Yeah.
Dude, we didn't even see it at first. We're like, oh shit, we lost.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
it was falling apart in the offseason.
And then we got Jalen Carter.
Best draft I've ever seen, I think.
Who else we get? We got Nolan playing what? He's a linebacker. No, Nakobe Dean's linebacker. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, we have all these young guns, all from fucking
killer draft,
Georgia. Yeah,
killer fucking draft. No one saw
how
it.
We got Jalen Carter blows my fucking mind.
Yeah,
you know, it's funny because the Flyers did the same
thing.
He
dropped
Matvei Michkov.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, the Eagles. I mean, it's football, and I think not a lot of people are like aware enough of that for some reason. Yeah. Like anything can happen. You know, we have a harder schedule this year. We have one bad game against a team we should beat. We could be in trouble. I
think the majority, for me, the Eagles comes down to Jalen Hurts if he can keep transcending. Like, he has to keep elevating. So it's like, for me, it's all up to him. Like, what does he do this year? Can he stay healthy this year? What does that look like? That's because the team is fucking phenomenal. Like, it's so talented. Yeah. They should walk away with the East.
Anything can happen.
Exactly. And that's why we love football.
What I'm saying.
That's why we love football.
You speak for yourself. I fucking hate football half the time because I'm a Philly fan.
Some of those grays came from.
No, but it's realistic. You know, like we have. I think we have the hardest schedule this year, which makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like there are some teams that we might beat. I think we should beat everything. I think we should go undefeated. I think we're, you know, like I don't say it every year. I'm not just like, oh, I think we should win it. I think we could beat every team. I think we were a better team than the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Even like we should have won that Super Bowl in my opinion. You know, like the Patriots won one in 2004. Patriots won that one. You know what I mean? They should have won that one. The Eagles fucking didn't. Yeah. Like this Super Bowl was different. I was like, that sucks. Like we won that. Like,
yeah, that hurt.
We should have won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like I wasn't even like I didn't know the feeling that I had. It was like how the fuck is this to score? Like after the football game, take Eagles out of the football game I just watched. How is this the result?
Yeah.
You know, and like, hey, we're coming back, and dude, we just can't lose games that we have to win. You know, we have to win as many of the other ones as we can, and football, anything can happen, but I think we're in the spot where we go back at least. You know, we take the East again.
Yeah, pains me to say it, but NFC. I do agree. Yeah,
we take I think we take the NFC, and I think we win the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah, I would love to see it because it's scary. You know, you like. Oh, I was about to say you've been to the Super Bowl. You know what it's like.
Wow,
bro! Here's the best part. Here's the best part about that shot is it wasn't supposed to be a shot until it inadvertent. Left my mouth. Because I was thinking like 2004. I was like, oh, we made the Super Bowl. We have McNabb. We have T.O. Like we'll be back, and we just didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So I was gonna have you relate, but you can't. But no, like it's a real thing. Like you could have a good team. You know, McNabb and T.O. back in the day are like, fuck yeah, we'll be back in 2005. 06. No, okay, shit.
Yeah.
You know, 17, 18, you know, so you never really know. But I think we're good enough to at least run it back, and I think we can win the fucking Super Bowl, dude. I'd love to see it again.
Nice.
I'd love to see it again.
Fuck yeah. Well, I would hate to see that, but I would be happy for you. You know what I mean? So
I appreciate that.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you joining us. The man with the secret sauce and the secret strategy. Ash, tell people where they can find you, my boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm AshIV_ on everything, which is Ash4_. A lot of people don't understand get that, but yeah, everyone says Ashiv, but it's actually Ash from a numeral 4. But AshIV_ across all platforms. I'm live Monday through Thursday on Twitch, and everywhere else you want to find me, it's there for you. But no, dude, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was super fun. If you ever need me for anything, whether it's podcast or related otherwise, just let me know, and I'm always happy to be there for you guys.
Sweet, man. Thanks for the insight into your brain, brother. Of
course.
All right, man. Much love.
All right, see you. Much love, guys.
See you, bud.
Later.
All right. Well, that wraps it up, dude. That was
good.
Killer episode of the Untitled Podcast. When are we uploading?
One will go out. This is for you, but one's going out tomorrow. I already have it prepped.
Tell the people.
What's today? The 17th. The one will be out. This will already be out, or that episode will already be out by the time this one comes out. But we're gonna do one a week right now, unless we're too far behind. Then we'll go to 2. I think we have it trended now to 1, and then if we're too far behind, which I don't think we will be, it'll be 2.
So every Thursday you're uploading?
Yes.
Is that the plan?
What day of the week? Yeah, every Thursday.
Tomorrow, the 17th is Thursday.
Yeah. Is
that when you're wanting to upload?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed that insight into Ash's brain. That was incredibly insightful. We upload Thursdays mornings for you morning ladies and gents. We appreciate you hanging for the Untitled Podcast, and we will see y'all on the next one.